Okay, here we go. Welcome to the show. Pride Month, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, everybody. We're going to be reacting to some videos today. We're doing a good job. We're kicking butt. We're here. We're ready. And this is the Pride edition of the Michael Garza Show. We're going to react to some videos today. As you can tell, we got our Pride flag filter. Happy Pride Month and happy Father's Day. Let's roll. Okay, let's go.
Shit's going down with it.
Now, we're going to be reacting to a lot of videos today. We're going to be having a good time. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. We're going to react to a lot of Trump videos and the GOAT, basically. And we're going to do what we do. So,
Iran, is that true?
And the threats coming from the Iranian regime. Earlier today, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian said this about Iranian enrichment of uranium. The president also reacting to that. Take a listen.
We will not give up our right to enrichment. And they, too, will be forced to accept.
Whoa. You should give up your right to enrichment because you have no right to it. In fact, you never had a right to it, dude.
The so-called president of the United States was saying, Iran has no right to do this, it has no right to do that.
This comes as Iran's IRGC says they have closed.
What's up, Annie? How you doing? What is up? We got Miss Annie in the house. What up?
The Strait of Hormuz. I spoke earlier.
Hey, let your dad know. Let your dad know. Happy Father's Day, Annie. Just want your dad to know he hopefully he had a happy Father's Day. I'm pretty sure he did, but just in case, I'll let him know, man. I'll let him know. Let's go.
With President Trump for more than 20 minutes, and he responded to that threat from the Iranians. President Trump telling Fox News that the U.S. may take over the strait.
Do you remember what I said about how, like,
the U.S. may take over the Strait of Hormuz? Holy crap.
whenever I heard that they're going to make a deal, everybody was, like, losing their mind, and I was like, uh-huh. Like,
yeah, I had a feeling the deal would get sabotaged by Iran. Iran does this crap every single time without blinking.
Vindicated again.
President Trump tells Fox News he spoke with Iranian officials overnight and said, you close it and you won't have a country. He went on to tell these officials, you won't even make it back to your effing country. President Trump told Fox News he better watch his mouth, he better shape up, or we'll take over the rest of the country.
Are people crashing out? Is there a situation?
Oh, yeah, people are probably crashing out on X right now, dude. Probably right now. Right as we speak, dude.
New footage captures the moment that Iranian delegation supposedly left the negotiation vendor.
Heck yeah, Annie. Everybody give a shout out to Annie for spoiling her dad on Father's Day. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Ooh. I mean, I call everybody a brony, so it doesn't matter who you are. But Annie, hell yeah. Everybody give a round of applause to Annie. Thank you for being you're an awesome daughter, Annie. Hell yeah. Get it.
In protest over President Trump's threats.
I also do want to wish a happy Father's Day to my father. I was hanging out with him earlier, so it was really fun. Yeah, it was really cool. Really fun hanging out with my pops earlier, so it was really awesome. Let's keep going.
All right, guys.
All right. JD.
Why is he doing the Derek Zoolander blue steel look?
That's pretty awesome, dude. Dude, JD Vance is the man.
Really? Like, so basically they're all leaving and they're roaching out because Trump said he was going to blow them up. The Iranian team is
That is pretty funny.
very offended that Trump's comment, he said he'd take them all as hostage until Iran agrees.
Hey, thank you, Annie. I appreciate the wishes. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Ah, you're amazing, Annie. Very kind.
They're running away. Oh shit! What do you mean? They're leaving so fast? It's just for optics? I hope so, right? I hope that, you know, maybe for their sake, I hope so. All right. This is what JD Vance said about the Iran thing. It's a turnover, a new leaf. All right.
This is a historic meeting. Never before, outside of Islamabad and here, so outside the last few months, never before has the Iranian and American leadership met at such a high level. What the president has asked us to do is turn over a new leaf, to transform our relationship with the people of Iran and to extend an outstretched hand.
They already
that
left.
says to the people of Iran that if your leadership is willing, if they are willing to give up.
Oh, you guys, don't forget to double tap the screen to like the stream. If you guys can, please double tap the screen to like the stream. It really does help the channel.
Nuclear weapons ambitions for the long term, then the United States is willing to fundamentally transform our relationship with that country. As I think a lot of you appreciate, peace is never easy. Peace always requires a little bit of work.
It's actually super fucking easy. Just stop funding terrorism and
Oh, yeah, exactly.
building nuclear bombs. They don't want to do that because
Oh, yeah, and here's the problem with Iran. They're not complying in any way, shape, or form, which really sucks. Because if all Iran has to do is not try to get a nuclear weapon. That's all. It's as simple as that. Stop trying to develop a nuclear weapon. It is so bloody simple. I mean, this stuff is not complicated. This shit is not fucking complicated. Okay? By the way, how are you guys liking the little pride filter that I got going on? Hope you guys are enjoying it. Actually, you know what? I could probably use a little more of a pride filter. Hold on. I mean, I could probably make it a little more, a little less transparent, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Hold on. Let me try something real quick. Okay, that seems to work. Yeah, let's keep going.
they want to kill you.
But the President of the
Iran
United
does not
States
want
is committed
peace, no.
not just to peace between the United States and Iran. The President is committed to a regional peace, which is why we're here working so hard to settle our issues.
Yep.
This is a historic.
Yeah. So it's basically the pride flag. It's the pride flag with me in the center of it. I had AI make it for me earlier. It was pretty funny. I got really bored, so I was like, "Hey AI, can you make me a pride flag and put me in the center of it?" So I just wanted to use it as the filter today. The title of the stream is Happy Pride Month Father's Day.
I think he's just, he's got to go there and try to talk them down, but like nothing's going to happen with this. Nobody's going to give a fuck. It's not going to change anything. It's never going to matter.
And said, you close it and you won't have a country. He went on to tell these officials, you won't even make it back to your effing country.
Nah, this shit's funny though. Doing a pride flag is hilarious. I was like, you know what? I'm really gonna ruffle some feathers today. Hey, if you guys can, don't forget to send me a happy Pride gift. If you guys want to support the stream, thank you, Annie, for sending. Thank you, Annie, for sending a happy Pride gift. We really if you guys want to support the Pride, if you guys want to support Pride, send a happy Pride gift. Please send a happy Pride gift to support the Pride. Laugh out loud.
Now,
I want you to imagine spending.
What the hell just happened? Hold on. What the fuck?
Shit's going down with Iran. Is that true?
and the threats coming from the Iranian regime.
And American leaders.
Here's the thing, though. I think that JD Vance is kicking butt. I think he's rocking it. But thank you for the happy Pride. I really appreciate that. In fact, I'm going to put that up on this. Oh, I can't because I didn't enable the chat. Hold on. Fuck. My bad. But Annie, thank you so much for the happy Pride, man. I appreciate that. But hey, you rock, Annie. Thank you so much. Let's keep going, man. Oh, Matthew, what are you doing, dude? Come on, man. Stop it. Trump issues an ultimatum to Iran. Let's take a listen.
Vice President Vance and U.S. negotiators are in Switzerland for the first round of nuclear talks with Iran. This as Hezbollah and the Israeli Defense Forces exchanged fire in Lebanon this weekend. Fox News chief foreign correspondent Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv with the latest. Trey.
Yeah, hey, Peter, good morning. High-level diplomatic talks are taking place today in Switzerland, aimed at solidifying the Memorandum of Understanding and entering into the next phase of negotiations. This comes as Iran's IRGC says they have closed the Strait of Hormuz. I spoke earlier with President Trump for more than 20 minutes, and he responded to that threat from the Iranians, saying that he spoke with Iranian officials overnight and told them, you close it and you won't have a country. He went on to say if they don't make a deal, we'll collect tolls.
Oh, you guys, don't forget to double tap your screen to like the stream. One more time, do not forget to double tap your screen to like the stream. Happy Father's Day, happy Pride Month, combined. But yeah, double tap your screen to help us out. Double tap your screen for a happy Father's Day. Let's go.
Tolls. We may take over the strait if we have to. The president says the U.S. could become the guardian angel of the strait and the Middle East and take 20% of the oil. The strait, along with Iran's nuclear program, remain the focus for talks in Switzerland. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian spoke today from Tehran, laying out a new red line for the regime in this next round of discussions.
We will not give up our right to enrichment.
Thank you, Annie, for putting a stop to that. No, thank you, Annie, for putting a stop to Matthew's garbage. That's crazy, man.
And they, too, will be forced to accept it. You all know what the so-called President of the United States was saying. He had made a complete 100-degree turn. He was saying that Iran must surrender unconditionally. Iran has no right to do this. It has no right to do that.
Iran should surrender. Completely.
President Trump responded directly to Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian, saying he better watch his mouth, he better shape up, or we'll take over the rest of the country. The president also spoke about Lebanon, where 5 Israeli soldiers were killed by Hezbollah in the course of 48 hours.
Oh no, my dad is saying the magic of the Futa Father's Day. So my dad wants a Futa Father's Day. That's what he's saying. But happy Father's Day to my dad, of course. He probably sees the pride filter. We have the pride filter on the stream. Very happy about the pride filter.
Hours over the weekend, the Israelis responding with
Hey, double tap the screen if you guys like the pride filter that I got up.
the airstrikes across southern Lebanon. Now, President Trump posted to Truth Social this morning saying Iran must immediately stop their highly paid proxies in Lebanon from causing trouble. If they don't, we'll hit Iran very hard again, just like we did last week, only harder. Iran continues to try and tie the situation in Lebanon to the broader Memorandum of Understanding with the United States of America. Well, now President Trump is doing the same. Peter?
Trey, thank you. For more, let's bring in Fox News contributor and host of the Hugh Hewitt Show, Hugh Hewitt. Hugh, I got to ask you about this news overnight. Strait of Hormuz closed. Now what?
Yeah. Well, I think what the president posted and Trey just referenced on Truth Social this morning, they've got to pull back Hezbollah and they've got to open the Strait of Hormuz, or we'll be back to the bombing. Now, I'm not one who put any faith in this MOU anyway, Peter. I think it's a letter of intent in real estate terms. Doesn't bind anyone. You might continue talking, but they're not going to bring back Munich in 1938 from Switzerland. I don't think the vice president's going to do that. I don't think special envoys Witkoff or Kushner are going to do that. I don't think the president will let them do that. So I actually believe we're in halftime of the battle, the current battle. Tomorrow marks the one-year anniversary of Operation Midnight Hammer, when the president ordered the Fodor facility completely destroyed. And in that year, we've seen Iran terribly shaken. They massacred 40,000 of their own people, and they've been pummeled for 6 weeks. I think they're going to want to strike a nicer tone.
What's up, Lou the Chicken Dude? My man. My man, dude. We got Lou the Chicken Dude. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
With everyone, if they want to get out of this jam, because their country's falling apart, they may have closed the strait again. That will not lead to anything.
Hey, thank you for the 100, Lou the Chicken. Dude, if you guys want to send a happy Pride gift, tap the gift button in the lower right-hand corner and then send a happy Pride gift. If you can. A happy Pride. Yum, yum. Send a happy Pride gift. You heard me. That's why I got the Pride filter. It's a Pride Month Father's Day, okay?
Being productive for them, but probably a return to bombing. Ditto Hezbollah in Lebanon.
And Hugh, nobody knows that is watching this, but I was waiting in Switzerland for the vice president this week, and he stood me up because...
E.T., you're very welcome, bud.
We figured at the time this is just like a no-win situation for Vance, right? If the deal works, conservatives are mad that he's the face of it. If it doesn't work, the president is mad. But the VP's new angle in this new sound that we have, it sounds like he is arguing if this doesn't work out, it's...
Oh, King Yeti just sent a happy poop yum yum, dude. Hell yeah, dude. I'm going to put the alert box over the filter. Hell yeah, bro. Mm-hmm.
really Israel's fault. Listen
Laugh out loud.
As a Dem, I promise to print money and waste it.
You violated the terms of service for Jules? How did you do that, dude? How in the hell did you do that, E.T.? I don't understand. What does that mean?
Laugh out loud.
I am Dem and I love ice.
What does that mean? E.T., I need to know. What are you talking about? How did you violate the terms? What?
To ensure that, Israel and
Thank you, Blue Nose Pitia. I love you, G-Dog. You're my G-Dog, bro. I love you, bro.
Lebanon are both safe and secure. The big problem is that you have somebody will shoot and then somebody will respond, and you kind of have a chicken and egg problem where you just got to stop the scene for long enough to get the ceasefire to hold.
So is that a fair point that really, if this all blows up, it's the Israelis?
No, and I didn't hear it that way. I heard the chicken and egg, which is not a great analogy because Hezbollah is a terrorist occupying force in Lebanon. Israel had to go in and defend Israel's territory. The president has blessed that. I think the vice president I hope he's studying Ronald Reagan in Reykjavik in 1986, because sometime a disaster of a summit can turn into a big geostrategic political win. So if he walks away from Switzerland and said, these are idiots, these are lunatics, we can't deal with them, I think that increases his stock because that's the actual truth. We know that the IRGC and the mullahs are nuts and they're lunatics, as we've...
Oh, absolutely. He's 100% right. There's no gift button? Yeah, there is. Now, are you watching this from a computer? Like, are you watching this from a mobile phone or a computer? Because if you're watching this from a computer, you won't be able to send a gift. But if you're watching it from a mobile device or a tablet, you should be able to send a gift. Yeah. But yeah, Trump's the man, dude. JD Vance is the man.
President has said, as Secretary Rubio has said. So I think it could blow up, and to his advantage. What isn't to his advantage is blaming our closest ally, most important ally in the world, Israel, for any of this, because it's not their fault. It's the Iranian terrorist proxy.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I will say this. Israel has not helped. They really haven't helped in any way. I mean, I should say they've helped make the war successful. But as far as creating an everlasting peace is concerned, I don't feel like Israel's really helping. That's what I think. All right.
Hezbollah that refuses to disengage.
And it seems like the heart of Republican and Democratic concerns with this deal is giving Iran money that they can maybe then use for anything. I asked President Trump about that on Wednesday in Evian. Listen to this.
The United States is not going to directly pay Iran, but the U.S. is going to let the Iranians start making billions of dollars, selling oil, accessing this reconstruction fund.
Only if they're doing things right. Only if, Peter, only if we're not doing anything. We're not putting up money.
Explain, though, what the difference is between.
Yeah, we're not giving away any tax dollars, dude. The U.S. isn't giving any tax dollars to Iran. I don't know why they keep saying that.
Between giving Iran U.S. dollars and unfreezing U.S. dollars.
Well, the unfreezing is an easy one to answer. We have taken a lot of their money, and we have their money. We have taken their money. It's not our money. It's their money.
Hugh, what do you think of that answer?
Oh, it's an illuminating exchange, Peter, as was the one at the end when he said, I'll blame JD if it goes off the rails when you asked him about that. What he's saying is there's a way for Iran to get their assets unfrozen.
Yeah.
It would begin, for example, with the IAEA inspectors going into Pickaxe Mountain, which is the fourth big nuclear facility. It would begin if they simply stopped shooting and attacking the boats in the Strait of Hormuz like they did overnight. It would begin when they withdrew Hezbollah to north of Litani and get out of the grill of Israel. I don't think he's going to let anything get unfrozen until they've done all that. In the meantime, they can sell some oil if they've opened up the strait. That's about $5 billion a month. That's barely lunch money for the IRGC. So that's not giving them much. So I didn't take too much away from the MOU. I think it's halftime in this battle. I don't think we know which way it's going to go. But I don't think they're going to be getting rich off of the MOU, not in any way, shape, or form.
And something else that J.D. Vance is saying is that the U.S. is going to be, we heard this today, the U.S. wants to have new relations with the Iranians. Like he's making it sound like we could have a normal relationship with them if they give up the nuke. Do you think that there's a big appetite for that in the United States? A normal diplomatic relationship where he's visiting Tehran the same way that he would go visit Riyadh or somewhere like that?
Only if the regime changed, Peter. There's a huge appetite for getting back to where we were in 1978 with Iran. They were a close ally. They were an ally of Israel. There are 92 million wonderful Persian people.
I don't know. I really don't believe we can ever be allies with Iran, truly. I just don't believe that's possible. It's two worlds. It's hate and love, worlds apart. This fatal love was like poison right from the start. No, that's the way I look at it. I just don't think, I don't believe it, man.
People, Iranian people with extraordinary talents. We got a great diaspora in the United States. We'd love to go back to 1978 before Jimmy Carter screwed this all up and the Ayatollah Khomeini came back. But the IRGC, the Haiti, these knuckleheads who are their political leadership, they have no power. No, there's not much appetite for that. We would like for Iran to back away from their nuclear program, and maybe they change over time. But I'm not holding my breath to when I'm going to...
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath either, man. I wouldn't. Not in the slightest, brother.
...visit Tehran. I don't think that's ever going to happen in my lifetime unless the people rise up in the next year, which is possible. Not likely, but it's possible. And I don't think we're going to...
I mean, it could happen, for sure. It could happen.
...to have the embassy reopen on Massachusetts Avenue, which is the old Iranian embassy, for a long, long time.
Well, we'll see. Hugh Hewitt, happy Father's Day. Thank you.
And to you, Peter.
Trump is everyone's daddy.
Thanks, Hugh.
Hey, everyone.
Trump is America's daddy. That's the way I see it. All right. You won't have a country. Trump fires back at Iran over Strait of Hormuz. Let's take a listen.
Top of the hour. Good morning to those of you just joining us. It is 9 a.m. on June 21st. This is Fox and Friends. Just moments ago, Vice President J.D. Vance meeting with leaders from Qatar and Pakistan in Lucerne, Switzerland, as peace talks are underway. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv with some breaking news and reaction. Hi, Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. I just spoke with President Trump for more than 20 minutes, and he gave some new insight and reaction about the ongoing talks that are taking place in Switzerland and the threats coming from the Iranian regime. President Trump telling Fox News that the U.S. may take over the strait in the future if they have to and collect tolls. The president described this as the United States being the guardian angel of the Strait of Hormuz and the Middle East.
Dude, that's
and the
tight.
president said ultimately that would involve the U.S. taking 20% of the oil that passes through the strait. Remember, this comes...
That's the way it should be, dude. We should be taking majority of the oil. Why not? That should be the punishment to Iran. That should be. Why not? You guys know I'm right.
In reaction to the Iranians saying they will close the Strait of Hormuz in response to Israeli strikes against Hezbollah in Lebanon. President Trump tells Fox News he spoke with Iranian officials overnight and said, you close it and you won't have a country. He went on to tell these officials, you won't even make it back to your effing country.
Yeah.
Now, earlier today, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian...
That's fucking tight, dude. I mean, that's tight as hell, dude. That is really, really tight, dude. What a stud, dude. Trump is a stud.
Pezeshkian said this about Iranian enrichment of uranium. The president also reacting to that. Take a listen.
We will not give up our right to enrichment, and they, too, will be forced to accept it. You all know what the so-called President of the United States was saying. He had made a complete 180-degree turn. He was saying...
The so-called president. He is the president of the United States, and you, Mr. Iranian president, are the president of a dying, crappy, you-know-what. That's all I gotta say. Well, it's not all I gotta say. I got plenty to say.
That Iran must surrender unconditionally. Iran has no right to do this. It has no right to do that.
President Trump, during our call, responded directly to those comments by Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian. President Trump told Fox News he better watch his mouth, he better shape up, or we'll take over the rest of the country.
Yeah, dude. See, that's freaking baller on Trump's end, dude. That's baller and pimp on Trump's end, dude. That's pimp. Pimp.
And so clearly the president reacting directly to these comments from Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian. And also President Trump talked about the broader memorandum of understanding, indicating this is just a ceasefire extension. This is not the final deal with the Iranian regime. And the president says he holds the cards and maintains a variety of options if the Iranians don't make these serious commitments.
No, T-Dog absolutely holds the cards, dude. I agree with that completely. Trump holds the cards, man. Iran does not even have a hand to play with on this round. Trump's winning, dude. U.S. won. Whether you guys want to admit it or not, the U.S. won this. Straight the F up, bro.
It's at the negotiating table. He said, I have a 60-day option, and I can do whatever I want after that option. So again, President Trump leaving a variety of considerations on the table and says that the United States could become the guardian angel of the Strait of Hormuz and collect tolls itself.
Oh, yeah.
While taking oil. Around 20%, the president says. As it relates to oil, President Trump also said that 19 million barrels of crude oil exited the Persian Gulf yesterday as a result of this memorandum of understanding with the Iranians. Guys?
So, Trey, as always, a fascinating report and fascinating interview you just had with President Trump. When he says something like the United States will be the guardian angel of the Strait of Hormuz and that the United States reserves the option of taking 20% of the oil that passes through there, is that a message?
Trump's winning the game, bro. T-Dog is winning the game. Double tap the screen if you think that Trump Dog is winning. If you guys think that Trump Dog's winning, dude, double tap the screen, yo. Boom. The GOAT. By the way, I do love Trump. I think he's the man.
As much to Iran as it is to other world leaders around the globe, that you need to participate in this and help us make sure that the Strait.
Hey, what's going on, Richard Grissom? How you doing, Brony?
Remains open to the free passage of oil?
Yeah, absolutely. Because remember, during Operation Epic Fury, President.
Oh, if you guys can, don't forget to tap the gift button in the lower right-hand corner. It is Pride Month. So send a happy Pride gift if you can, okay? Either double tap your screen to like the stream or tap the gift button to send a happy Pride gift. When you send a happy Pride gift, it shows that you really, really care about this show and nothing else.
Trump called on these other countries to get involved because the United States uses just a few percentage points of its oil that actually comes out of the Persian Gulf. And these other countries didn't want to get directly involved in securing this critical international waterway. It was only after.
So if you guys want to support the show and if you want to support my pride, happy Pride Month, dude. If you want to support the show, tap the gift button, send a gift. Send a happy Pride gift, preferably.
The fact that they actually were offering to help and send military reinforcements. It was the U.S. military, the U.S. Navy specifically, that put that significant economic pressure on the Iranian regime by closing Iranian ports. They were losing hundreds of millions of dollars every day. And again, this is what they consider their leverage. Because they lost so much on the battlefield, they are looking again to the Strait of Hormuz. And that is why you heard that statement from Iran's IRGC overnight, threatening to close the strait in response to Israeli strikes against Hezbollah and Lebanon. And again, President Trump tells Fox News he told Iranian officials directly, you close it and you won't have a country. Now, I also asked the president about the situation in southern Lebanon and the exchange of fire between Israel and Hezbollah. Remember, 5 IDF soldiers were killed over the weekend by Hezbollah. The Israelis responded with a series of airstrikes across southern Lebanon. The president told me he is disappointed Israel can't put Hezbollah away. He went on to say they can't do anything without knocking buildings down, and that he is close to giving it to Syria. And he is talking about empowering Syrian President Ahmad al-Shara to actually go into southern Lebanon and fight Hezbollah, because the president believes that he would do a more precise job in terms of the way he would deal with Hezbollah, not knocking down buildings, but fighting them on the ground. And so, again, the president expressed what we had heard from President Trump just a week ago, his frustration, or better put, his disappointment with the Israelis and the way that they are fighting Hezbollah. Remember, 5 IDF soldiers were killed over the weekend by Hezbollah in southern Lebanon.
Right.
But again, when we zoom out here, there's a lot on the table.
Yeah.
And the president also spoke about the situation in Gaza. He said at this moment, Hamas is not causing a lot of problems in Gaza, and that the process needs to play out with the ceasefire agreement there. And that he says the focus should be on the agreement with Iran, because once Iran is taken care of, many of these other issues will fall into place. Guys.
Yeah, the president, based on what you're telling me, clearly sending a very strong message to Israel saying it's too brutal the way you're handling it. I think an al-Qaeda guy can do it better, more precisely than you. Not a good look for Israel, for sure, in this. We had on the president early.
I think no matter what Israel does, I think they look bad. I think Israel looks bad in any circumstance, to be honest. Israel has made too many boneheaded mistakes. That's just my opinion. But you know what? They have helped us in this war, in the Iran war. They've helped us a lot. So you could say that maybe we owe a debt of gratitude to Israel, potentially. But at the same time, they're not making it easy for us to try to maintain some form of peace with Iran. So we'll see what happens. I mean, look, and also I will say this. Not only is Israel making it difficult, Iran is making it difficult. Iran makes, honestly, majority of the problems that Iran has are caused by Iran. The Iranian government has been so boneheaded. It's been terrible. But I'm not a big fan of Israel, not a big fan of Palestine, for example. Not a big fan of Iran. Just not a fan of any of those countries. Lebanon, not even a fan of Lebanon. Just not a fan of any of these countries, man. It's mainly just their governments. I'm just not a big fan of their governments at all.
Herzog from Israel, who spoke with Griff, and he said he promised that they had no territorial ambitions in Lebanon, or specifically in southern Lebanon, which would indicate that when this is over, they're going to return the land back to the Lebanese who have been displaced there. Now, we just saw J.D. Vance very diplomatically handling things in Lucerne, Switzerland, and then your conversation with the president, a lot more aggressive. Is this a case of good cop, bad cop?
I would say that the president is looking at the reality on the ground. And when the Iranians are making statements about closing the Strait of Hormuz, first of all, we know that that's propaganda because...
Oh, if you guys can, though, to support the show's Pride Month efforts, don't forget to tap the gift button and send a happy Pride gift. One more time, to support our Pride efforts. Tap the gift button below. It's in the lower right-hand corner. Tap it. And if you can, please send a happy Pride Yum Yum gift. The more happy Pride we get, the better. It does support the show. It shows you're a good person. If you guys can, please send me a happy Pride gift.
Because international shipping data indicates that many vessels are still passing through the Strait of Hormuz, this critical waterway. But the president clearly, he told Fox News, wanted to send a direct message.
Or you can send me a happy poop gift, one or the other. Okay, how about this? If you guys love the Pride flag filter, send me a happy Pride gift. If you guys do not like the happy Pride, if you guys don't like the Pride flag, send me a happy poop gift. All right, if you don't like it, send a happy poop. If you do like it, send a happy Pride. Okay, just tap the gift button, send me either happy poop or happy Pride. Just let me know how you feel. Let me know how you feel.
To Iranian officials, even telling those officials you won't even make it back to your country if you close the Strait of Hormuz. I think it's also important to note the fact that so much oil actually made it out yesterday.
And he's sending a bunch of happy poops. I love you, Annie. Thank you so much for the happy poops. Happy poop yum yums. I appreciate it. Everybody give a huge shout out to Annie for the happy poop yum yums. Mucho apreciado. Love you, Annie. Annie's amazing. Give Annie a round of applause. Thank you, Annie. You rock.
19 million barrels, according to President Trump. That's a very significant number and an indication that there are still vessels leaving the Persian Gulf. And this is not talking specifically about Iranian ports. We're talking about these Gulf countries, allies of the United States. And the president said there was such a backlog of oil that it's now gushing out of the Persian Gulf. And you think about just how still things were in this region, and now that it is open again, these vessels can actually export this oil. But I think really an important point here is what the president is leaving.
Hey, Larson Christopher. We got Larson Christopher in the house. Hell yeah, dude. Hey, we hope your father's having a happy Father's Day, bro. Happy Father's Day to your daddy.
On the table as it...
And Larson Christopher, I don't know if you're a papa or not, but happy Father's Day to you too, man, if you're a papa in some way. But if not, though, either way, happy Father's Day to your papa, man.
Relates to the Strait of Hormuz. He says, we may take over the strait if we have to. I'll blow the S out of them. And he is talking about the fact that if the Iranians try to close the Strait of Hormuz, not only will the U.S. open the strait, they'll take control of the strait and be the guardian angels of the Strait of Hormuz and the Middle East, and then ultimately take a percentage of the oil that is passing through. And again, this is an indication that President Trump is signaling to the Iranians that are currently at the table in Switzerland, make these concessions about your nuclear program, adhere to the memorandum of understanding, or there would be serious...
Well, hopefully they'll adhere to something. Hopefully they'll adhere to the memorandum, but they probably won't.
Consequences that would actually reverse what they are trying to do, saying that if they don't make a deal, we'll collect tolls, the United States of America.
Right, but let me drill, Trey, quickly into exactly what Rachel is talking about, the look of a good cop, bad cop, because when Iran's president, Pezeshkian, said that Iran will maintain the right to enrich uranium, it flies in the face of the entire goal that Vice President Vance just laid out on camera at historic, first time ever in history, Iran and the U.S. meeting at a high level, and Vance saying that if Iran will abandon their nuclear ambition, then they will receive a fundamentally different relationship with the U.S. Does President Trump even have a, he pretty much has to tell the president of Iran, Pezeshkian, that he should watch his mouth.
Hey, we got Frog Eat Frog, dude. Frog Eat Frogs is gay flag, nice. Yeah, we got the Pride. So it's Happy Pride Month, Father's Day on the Michael Garza show. Okay, so we're celebrating Pride Month and Father's Day all in one day. That's why we have the pride flag filter. All right, to show how woke we are and that we're the wokest of them all. I'm woker than all of you guys. I am way woker than all you guys, okay? Not just kidding. I can never be woker. I can never be woker than Frog Eat Frog. Love you, Frog. Xavier, what up? Happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Hell yeah. ET says, Garza, I got a joke. What's the joke, brony? My brony bro, dude, what's the joke?
Because he's threatening to derail this on the eve of it actually happening.
Yeah, President Trump actually left.
Frog Eat Frog says, Happy Father's Day, Dad. I guess, am I the chat's daddy? Am I the chat daddy? Larson Christopher says he's too old to be woke. That's funny.
Open the concept of a civilian enrichment program in the future for Iran. But remember, they're working out the details of Iran's nuclear program that includes that buried highly enriched uranium around 60%, but also the rest of the program. And again, President Trump responding directly to the comments from Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian. I actually read him the text of what President Pezeshkian said, and he responded saying he better watch his mouth, he better shape up, or we'll take over the rest of the country. And so, again, the president wants to keep things on course here as it relates to these conversations that are taking place in Switzerland today. And then
Donald, to be honest, I have no idea, dude. We live in a backwards society. We live in a backwards-ass society.
The next phase in all of this
Frog Eat Frog says Papa Garza. Hell yeah, dude.
The detailed discussions about Iran's nuclear program. It is a 60-day window. And a lot of people have commented on this agreement and expressed opinions about what it means. We have to look at the facts on the ground here. And again, according to President Trump, the man who signed the memorandum of understanding, this is just an option. He says, I have a 60-day option.
You guys, don't forget to send a gift. There's a gift button below. If you guys can, press the gift button. And when you press the gift button, it'll give you a lot of options. Feel free to send any gift that you want, small or large. Preferably Happy Pride.
Option, and I can do whatever I want after that option. Clearly, President Trump leaving both.
ET says, I just noticed your Pride background. Did I ask ChatGPT to make me look gay? So in the photo, I kind of looked gay anyway, the photo that I took. So ChatGPT did not have to try hard at all.
diplomatic and military options on the table if the Iranians don't adhere to their end of the agreement.
All right. Trey Yingst, great reporting, great getting a call in with the president and bringing us up to speed. We'll continue to follow this. Trey, thanks.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and...
Heck yeah, bronies. Okay. Okay, the price of peace. Let's see. Details of the U.S.-Iran deal will be critical.
Yeah, joining us now is a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett. Congressman, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. So I got a question for you.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, same to you, sir. I appreciate that. So this $80 billion has been pared down from $200 billion just a couple of weeks ago that came out. They said, listen, we need $200 billion. Congress said not a chance. So they've got it down to $80 billion. They're saying this is for operations and a few domestic policies. I think things like birthing and pay, stuff like that. But, you know, in the past, in recent past, you've called the DOW, the defense industry, and your colleagues war pimps, portfolio warriors. You said that you can't get your way out of things by throwing money at the military. You have a very fiscal, conservative policy. You're very honest about it. Mm-hmm. Does this $80 billion ask fit into those summations, or do you see this as a more legitimate ask for money? Because it's $80 billion on top of the basically trillion they got last year.
Well, of course, you always ask for the most in the beginning, and then you know what you can do to come down. When I raised the speed limit in Tennessee, I think I asked for about 90, and I ended up taking 70, and that's what we got. So I get that. But I think the negotiations are still going on within Congress of what we're going to see. But I guess what you got to really ask yourself is, what's the price you put on peace? The Democrats were critical of President Trump and the initial bomb run of Iran that was weeks before the war.
But it ended up working, though, is the point. What Trump did ended up working in the long run. So, honestly, go Trump. Go Trump for making the right decision, man.
Or when we basically encased their nuclear capabilities in a mountain, which they're still there from what I understand. And so I think the devil's in the details of what's in this contract, so to speak. President Trump has made a living out of making tough deals, and this is probably going to be another one. I suspect they'll be calling us in Congress just to see where we're going to be at. But I have yet to see all the.
And he says, after staring at this filter, I'm going to need a tomorrow's teaching episode at the end of the night. I think we could fit in a tomorrow's teachings episode tonight. Hell yeah, we could pull that off.
Details on it, but I tend to lead towards what price tag do you put on peace. With the Iranians, we know they're radicals. We know their belief system. Do we really want their hands on a nuclear weapon? And what would that do in the Middle East? And I think that's why you saw.
And that is a scary prospect, man. We don't want them to have a nuclear weapon at all. Period. End of story. That just shouldn't be happening. Period. Agreed. No nuclear weapon for Iran, man. None. None at all.
A lot of Muslim-leaning countries supported our efforts in taking out Iran because they see them as a threat, and they want to embrace. I mean, let's just be honest. greed is a motivator. They want to embrace the dollar.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to watch a tomorrow's teachings episode that centers around a story of a father, which is probably going to be a very degenerate style episode. And, yeah. But yeah, man. What up?
And they know if we're in a nuclear war, it's all over.
Well, I mean, picking up on that, you know, greed is a motivator and the devil is in the details. The details, I think, you know, they're being hashed out right now, you know, with our vice president. Talk to me about what types of, I think you could describe them as concessions maybe or accommodations to Iran should or shouldn't be made at this moment during these discussions. And, you know, I guess to draw your attention specifically to, you know, allowing Iran to sell its oil. You know, that would require grants and licenses from us. I mean, is that something that should be on the table?
Absolutely. Of course, we're exporting energy. The best course of action for America to take is to tell the Middle East they can eat their sand and they can eat their dadgum oil, and we need to get our production. We're exporting, but the problem is we cannot. We can't manufacture the quality of gasoline in certain areas that we need. We need more refineries is what we need. And with Lee Zeldin at the head of EPA right now, I think we're moving in that direction. But that's going to take some time. You can't just do that overnight. There are local regulations and EPA rules and regulations that are in there for good reason. So I think that's going to take a little bit of time. But again, I think it also shows one thing, too, is that the president's trust in J.D. Vance, having him out there negotiating.
Well, J.D. Vance is a smart guy, and I think it's good to have J.D. at the helm. You know, look, J.D.'s a smart guy. J.D. Vance is a very intelligent individual. And I think it's great to have him at the helm. I really do. I think it's amazing.
With the Iranians.
Yeah, Congressman Burchett, I want to turn to this now. Things are tightening up ahead of the midterms, as we know. The Cook Political Report recently shifted 7 House races towards the Democrats. They explain that despite the GOP winning the redistricting fight, Democrats remain in a strong position to take control of the House. Listen, I know anytime you ask somebody how are you feeling about the midterms, the obvious answer is we're feeling good about the midterms, but I know that you like to play it straight with us. So let's look forward to the midterms. There's been a lot of times we thought a red wave was coming. It ended up being a pink splash. Now the Democrats think they got that blue wave mounting.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a blue wave mountain. I still don't. Here's the thing. I know that the Republicans are not very popular right now, but neither are the Democrats. And the Democrats are still unpopular. I want to make that very clear. The Democrat Party is still increasingly unpopular. And they're more unpopular than the Republicans. Don't start thinking that just because Republicans are unpopular doesn't mean the Democrats aren't too. In fact, most people are done with the Democrat and Republican parties together. And I can't say I blame them. It makes perfect sense. I'm not a fan of either party. I don't like what the Republicans have been. I'm anti-Democrat for sure. I will never vote Democrat. Ever, 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 ever. Just because the Democrat philosophy doesn't align with me. So overall. But I'm more likely to vote Republican, that's for sure. Especially if it could prevent a Democrat from taking power, because most authoritarians, I mean, Democrats have become socialists. That's the problem. They become socialist communists. They love it. They're obsessed with those philosophies. So I'm more than happy to vote against whatever the hell they're voting for. Absolutely. But the beauty is that the Democrats run on really poor ideas, really bad ideas, and that's why they're so unpopular, is because they die on the hill of shitty ideas. And most normal people, most functional people, even less than functional people, realize that the Democrats are out of their mind. At least that's what I've noticed. But hey, maybe there will be a blue wave. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. But let's hope.
How do you see things shaping up, and is there anything that Republicans in vulnerable positions or that are running can do to maybe start shifting some of the tides their direction?
I think it boils down to messaging, ma'am. We do a terrible job of messaging. I yell at my colleagues about it. You know, they made fun of me for 8 years, and now a lot of them are asking me for advice on the internet and on what they can do to get their face on this thing a little more. And frankly, we need to start gearing up. We've done some great things. The Big Beautiful Bill had some wonderful things that President Trump put in there, and we've honestly just done a terrible messaging job of telling people what we've done in Congress. And I think that's the key to it all right there. And it's, you know, and I think it's going to be, it's not how you start, it's how you.
And the Republicans, I will give the Republicans some props. Under the leadership of Donald Trump, things have been getting done. Things have been getting fixed. It's taken a little bit of time, but things are working. Things are better. So, Trump Daddy, thank you very much, bro.
You finish. You're going to see gasoline prices drop considerably. Of course, they're not going to go up. They're not going to drop as fast as they went down.
If you guys can, though, don't forget to tap the gift button in the lower right-hand corner below. Once you tap the gift button, select the gift that you want to send us. Any gift helps. All gifts help the stream in more ways than one. But Trump is accomplishing a lot in his final term, and he's doing a great job, man. Trump is doing great. He's deregulated a lot. I will admit, at first I wasn't the biggest fan of the Big Beautiful Bill, but I've kind of warmed up to it for sure. I'm not a big fan of big bills, but if it is if it is fixing the things that Biden destroyed, then I will accept it. I will accept it. Because Biden was one of our worst presidents. In fact, Biden was the worst president we ever had. Straight up. That's all. It's as simple as that. Okay. Tony, what's up, dude? Trump's the man.
Down because the oil companies are greedy,
Trump's
but that's for another show. But the truth is that we've done a pretty good job of doing some things that we said we're going to do. We've locked the border down. We found they lost 300,000 children during the Biden administration, which some of the media refused to cover and still refuses to cover, and yet we found about 150,000 of those kids. You see what's going on in Minnesota and New York and California with the fraud, and that's all under Democrat-controlled areas, and those are things we're fighting, and the Democrats are fighting us on. It's the Make America Great Act that President Trump's trying to get, so you can, you literally have to show an ID to vote.
Oh, the Save America Act, yeah, that matters. That absolutely matters, man. The Save America Act is very crucial to the success of voter integrity, in my opinion. It is.
To me, that should be paramount in what we're putting out, and show that the Democrats have been blocking that.
Yeah, anyone who backs Joe Biden, exactly. EJR says that Biden destroyed the country. Anyone who backs Biden is a joke. I agree. Biden was a cruel joke. I do think that Joe Biden was a cruel joke to America. And I think that America is better off with Trump or JD Vance. I love Trump and JD Vance, bro. I think they're a dynamic duo, and I can't wait to see. I want to see Vance in 2028. JD Vance 2028, man. That's what I'm feeling, dude. That's what I want. That's what Daddy wants. That's what Daddy needs.
I just think, the Save America Act,
yeah,
I believe it's called. But anyway, you don't know what I'm talking about. You've got to show a birth certificate to play Little League Baseball in America. And yet now here we are, the Democrats are fighting us, saying it's going to cost millions of people the right to vote. Well, those millions of people happen to be illegals and dead.
That was a good comeback. Tim Burchett. Dude, let's hear that again, dude. That was amazing. I want to hear that again, dude. That was fucking tight.
People happen to be illegals. And
hold on, let me hear that again.
Birth certificate to play Little League Baseball in America. And yet now here we are, the Democrats are fighting us, saying it's going to cost millions of people the right to vote. Well, those millions of people happen to be illegals and dead. So
exactly.
Those are the two categories that they're.
And it's just like, this should be common sense stuff. It should be a little bit of a process to vote, because you don't want any cheating, right? You need to have some checks and balances. And this is one of the reasons why nobody's taking California seriously. California won't even show their voter rolls allegedly to the federal government. That's what I've heard. Rumor has it. And that's very disturbing. If you can't be transparent about your voter rolls to the federal government, I don't trust you. I do not trust you. If you can't be transparent in any way, shape, or form, I just don't trust you. I can't.
They're blocking. So, and we're doing a terrible job at messaging that. For some reason, we don't want to get our hands dirty. And then you look at what's happened in New York. They're electing literally openly Marxist people. And that's where the Democrat Party's going. You see.
Oh, we got Peter in the chat. Peter in the chat is saying that Trump lost or whatever. Tish Lay says Nancy Pelosi state. Yep.
Goldman and some of those other guys, they're hugely liberal. They're all friends of mine, but dadgum, they're not communist. But they're electing communists now in some of these fringe areas, and that is becoming mainstream Democrat Party. It's not, it's like Ronald Reagan said, I didn't leave the Democrat Party, they left me. Mm-hmm. And they're not leaving a lot of room for it. And of course, the Charlie Kirk effect, the young kids on these college campuses are still fired up. And every dadgum one of those polls, though, has never showed Trump leading, ever, hardly. And yet, what does he do? He wins every dadgum time. And so the only poll I'm concerned about is the one on Election Day.
Congressman, so you mentioned a lot of things. Messaging was your big thing. You don't think the Republicans are very good at messaging. From what I can see, Democrats are all doing the same thing. They're running against Donald Trump. That seems to be what's working for them. That seems to be how they get, do fundraising. So they're going to do, I'm going to assume that's what they're doing, anti-Trump. So you mentioned a lot of things. You mentioned gasoline, the economy, you mentioned fraud, the Marxists, immigration, crime.
Yep.
Of messaging, what's the most important thing for them to stress? And also, if they're running against Trump, Should Republicans be with Trump? He's not running again. This is Trump's last term, right? So should they be on the campaign trail with Trump? Should they be seen with him? What should they do?
I think they should ignore the so-called traditional media in this country because, again, they've always picked a loser on this thing. I think, people are just berated with the negative news about Trump and everything. And yet, and Joe Biden, they act like he was the greatest thing in the world. Kamala Harris is a
Joe
great
Biden was
orator,
terrible,
according
dude.
to them. So, I think we've really missed the boat on all this stuff. And remember this: Republican Congress won. We got about three. We're about a 3-person lead, and through the elections, maybe more, maybe less. The Lord takes some out occasionally, and then we put some people back in. But Trump won overwhelmingly over all this our country, and because of the Trump agenda, of the things that I mentioned, of strong national security, of border security, of finding those dadgum kids that were lost at our border under the Biden administration. And yet, and for some reason, we all tend to run in 100 different directions. Case in point on messaging, this is one of my pet peeves, and I'm going to get calls on it. But the week of the president's State of the Union address, it was wonderful. It was a world-class speech, and he covered so many areas. And what did the Republicans message on that week? Appliances. So we got to get our head out of the sand and start going on following what Trump's lead, because he hasn't.
Hey, Trump's got a vision, man. Trump has a vision, and everybody else wants status quo. The traditional Republicans want status quo. The traditional Democrats want status quo. Trump has a vision for America, and I love it, man. The guy's actually got a vision. The Democrats don't have a vision. The Republicans don't have a vision. And you know what? Make America great again? That sounds like a start. Sounds like a start to me. A good start, if anything.
He hasn't lost us yet. And overwhelmingly, when he makes when he makes an endorsement, they go. I've always said endorsements, you never pick up friends, just the enemies. But somehow Trump seems to pull it off. And overwhelmingly he does. And I'm not running from his endorsement, I can tell you that.
Real quick, Congressman, I just want to do a follow-up on the first question I asked you. This $80 billion supplemental ask from the DOW, are you saying you need this deal to be worked out with Iran before you know if you'd want to vote for that or help push it forward? Or do you think that's something that Congress can get done?
I'd like to see what's in it. I'd just like to see what's in it. I think I have a pretty good idea. I think the other countries are going to have to kick in some. And if we see that, I think that, again, what's the price tag you put on nuclear security? And do you want those lunatics to have nukes is the question. Yeah. And, the Democrats, they just want to get in power. They don't care if a war breaks out. They don't care about you or me. Yeah. They just want to stay in power. And we don't need to fall into that trap.
I'll tell you right now, you talked about messaging. I think you should... True
that, brother. True that.
Copyright dadgum and just put it on a mug or something. I think you'd raise a lot of campaign money with that. I like it.
I actually have a hat that says dadgum Patriot on it, and we sold over 1,000 the first week I put them out, and then some knucklehead in China bootlegged them and put it out on the internet. And I said, you don't need to buy it from those knuckleheads, you need to buy it from this knucklehead.
Congressman Tim Burchett, thank you for bringing some Southern hospitality to the show. We surely appreciate you.
Thank y'all and all the dads out there. Hope you.
What a stud, dude. This guy's the man. I like this guy. That guy is a stud, dude. Stud.
Have a wonderful Father's Day.
Yeah.
Give me a moment. One moment. Oh, little bat. Well, let's see. Oh, let's see. I'm kind of debating what I should look up real quick. Iran has no tactical control over the Strait of Hormuz, national security analysis says. Let's take a listen.
If everyone else is going to be utilizing that strait, and the position from the administration has said it's an international waterway, it should be open without tolls, then I understand that Iran needs to be part of that. Maybe that's a little bit good faith on our part and gets them to show up. Oh, but that is, for now, their only source of revenue. So as fast as that spigot can turn on, if they don't behave well, as the president and vice president has said, we can turn that spigot off.
President Trump is floating the idea of the U.S. becoming a sort of guardian angel of the Middle East and a toll collector for the Strait of Hormuz if talks with Iran continue to, well, fall through. Let's bring in Dr. Rebecca Grant, a foreign policy expert and national security analyst.
Heck yeah, let's
Dr.
see
Grant,
what she's got to say, man. Let's see what she's saying.
When you look at the situation with the Strait right now, I mean, was there a failure to think through the ramifications of the attacks on Iran? Because, you know, closing down the strait has obviously caused a lot of turmoil in the world economy.
You know, the reaction of...
I don't think Iran has the manpower or the firepower to close the Strait of Hormuz. I don't think they do. And if they try to, the U.S. is going to do the U.S. military is going to do everything in their power to demolish Iran. Period. End of story. So if Iran tries anything cute, they're going to get kaput.
The international shippers cowering at anchor, that was unexpected. But today, I've got to tell you, things are looking good. The strait is open, even according to the UN. We've got 50, 60 ships transited yesterday. That's about half of the traffic flow and the biggest number that we've seen since the beginning of Operation Epic Fury. And I'm going to tell you, the U.S. Navy already is the guardian of the strait. We need to keep up the confidence of the international shippers. But if Iran sends out one drone or one fast boat, the U.S. Navy will answer with bombs.
Yeah, the Energy Secretary, Chris Wright, says that he echoes the kind of progress that you're talking about and says the Iranians have to learn a hard lesson. Listen.
We got 67 ships through the Strait of Hormuz yesterday. Were some of them concerned? Sure. Is this thing over and completely done yet? No. But what we're demonstrating to the Iranians is we can have flow of traffic through the Strait of Hormuz with or without them. We can destroy their nuclear program. If they don't want to make any arrangements or any agreements, we can continue to settle these things the way we have. Maybe there's a slight moderation of their behavior for some economic rewards, but they only get rewards if they stop the destructive behavior.
It does seem that, you know, the Iranians are willing to cut off their nose to spite their face when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz closure.
But Iran has no tactical control of the Strait of Hormuz. And this number, this 67 ships, this is a major turning point. And it's thanks to some very quiet counter-mine ops by the U.S. Navy, the spread of air power from F-16s to aircraft carriers to Apaches that is over that strait right now. And that said, I do think President Trump needs to stay laser focused on this personally. It's time for him to cancel his Jones Act waiver. The national emergency is over. U.S. ships can handle our coastwise trade, but he also needs to really reassure those shippers. CENTCOM will do a lot to do that. And then if we have traffic flowing like it is today, Iran is just out of the picture.
What about other nations, though? I mean, the entire world really has been crippled to some extent. Maybe crippled is too strong a word, but they've been harmed by the Iranian closure. Are other nations willing to get involved to help keep the strait open?
Well, at the G7 meeting, they signed on to a British-French plan, and France's aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle is down in the region at the moment, and I think other ships are planning to enter at some point. This is good reinforcement, but it is definitely a U.S. Navy and U.S. Joint Force show at this point, and they've done a tremendous job. Most of this traffic now is going the Oman route, the usual inbound, outbound route, nothing over towards the coast of Iran, and Iran's just going to be locked out. I love it.
One of the questions, though, is whether the Iranians are just trying to stall. I mean, they've got apparently...
I think the Iranians are stalling, dude. That's what I think. I think they absolutely are. I think everything that Iran's doing right now is a pure deception. I think everything that they're doing right now is a pure deception. I don't trust Iran at all in any way, shape, or form. I don't think anybody should. I don't know why. I don't know how anybody could. Okay, my dad is demanding that he wants futa pride. And I regrettably have to say that. Say no to the futa. Say no to the futa. That's what I say. Say no to it, dude. Say no to it. No. It's probably the best lesson that one can learn here. I just figured out a good idea. Boom. No, wait a minute. That wouldn't be a good idea. I thought I just came up with a very clever chess move, but it may not be as clever as I think it is at the end of the day. Maybe it is. Probably not. Well, it could be. I'm going to take a chance. I'm taking a real big chance on this one here. It's a huge chance. I'm taking it. I'm taking a risk. I'm taking a risky chess move here. So ET is asking, what's a futa? You don't want to know, bro. You don't want to know. I wish I didn't know. I wish I didn't
60
know.
days to flesh out the details of this memorandum of understanding. Are they trying to stall until the midterm elections and perhaps hand the president a defeat of his party at the polls? Here's what Karl Rove has to say about
No, I've already said it. I've already said it. I'm not saying it again, dude. I've already given enough futa. Oh, jeez. Big jugs and futa thongs. God damn. These are the things I don't want to say. These are the things I don't want to say. I don't support any of those things, by the way. I don't support any of those things. I don't want any of those things. All right? No.
Each side, the United States, President Trump, and the Iranians have made big bets. The U.S. bet is that Epic Fury, the military mission, in essence, convinced Iran that it's got to change its ways. And the Iranians, in my opinion, their view is
I can't believe Karl Rove is still at it, dude. Karl Rove is still at it. Holy shit. Big bets. U.S. Epic Fury convinced Iran midterm election pressure. I don't know, man.
That the midterm elections at gas prices place a limitation on the U.S., and they're going to use that as maximum leverage to get concessions.
So
here's what the U.S. is going to do. If Iran tries to close off the Strait of Hormuz again, the U.S. is going to blast Iran with everything they got. Everything they got.
Who wins this staring match, I guess, Dr. Grant?
Well, he makes a good point. But you know what? I don't care what Iran thinks. The reality is no path towards a nuclear weapon. Their military.
They shouldn't have any path to a nuclear weapon, exactly. Small Wiener Gang. Hey, thank you, Jeff FMB, for subscribing to the channel. Mucho apreciado. I love you. If you guys want to send a gift, tap the gift button. The more gifts we get, the better. Send a gift, send a super chat. Super chats and gifts are greatly appreciated. So whatever you guys want to send, you will get noticed. So if you send a super chat, if you send a gift, you will get noticed. I will shout you out. I will give you the love you deserve on the stream.
leveled by Operation Epic Fury. And now President Trump
Tanner,
really
what up,
has
dude?
that leverage in the strait. No one can pay them tolls. Secretary Bessent sanctioned that. And the ability of the U.S. Navy to have the geopolitical control of that strait and get that traffic moving, it's just going to sideline Iran, no matter what they think.
And the president says we are going to, at some point, retrieve the nuclear material that Iran has stockpiled and which may be under tons of rock right now. Dr. Rebecca Grant, thank you.
Thank you.
Will they be able to retrieve it? Nobody knows it but me. Put on a show. E.T. says you'll give me your love regardless. Absolutely, brony. You are my brony, bro. Nobody knows. You are my brony, boy. Billionaire's daughter takes the bus.
Today I
What?
decided to face my biggest fear and accept your challenge. I'm taking the bus. I told my billionaire dad I want to experience a normal...
This is AI or a meme. I'm not going to watch it. It's stupid.
Today I decided to face...
Asmon's the man, dude. I love Asmon. Bro might be Eminem's dad.
Are you trying to get on? I love your stuff, by the way. I always wanted to see you out here and you do some old hip hop. Like, have you ever?
Hey, Dakota, that's a great that's a great message. Everybody, thank you, Dakota, for the chat. Tiny Lion Gaming is asking, what the F is this filter? So it is the Michael Garza Show Pride Month filter. Don't worry. The Pride Month filter is only for this episode, okay? Happy Father's Day. Happy Pride Month Father's Day. Happy Futah. Tim Smith says, drop a note in the comments if Garza bricked your minifigs. Tim Smith, I did, bro. I absolutely did, man. Tim Smith, Tiny Line Gaming says, LMAO, oh my God. It's Garza in the middle. I'm dying. Yes, I put myself on a pride flag. I did it. And I'm not proud of it, by the way. I'm not proud of it. Well, I am kind of proud of it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny as shit. Mainly because I got a warped sense of humor. I'll tell you that. Shit's funny. But yeah, I put myself in the center of the pride flag and I made it I made a pride flag filter. It's funny though. I love it, dude. I love pride. I have pride. If you guys can, please tap the gift button and Oh, that poor baby. Those videos just like break my heart, man. Oh shit. Janine Pirro puts the reflecting pool vandals on notice. Let's take
For more,
a
let's bring in the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, Janine Pirro. Judge Janine, thank you for being here on the Sunday briefing.
Good to be with you, Peter.
Tiny Lion Gaming says he got a bunch of Pokemon merch because he cool as AF.
Peter, sorry you're not here. I'm in New York, you're in D.C. How did that happen?
You know.
TLG is asking Mikey, are you gay? I know he's referring to Mikey Masters.
I gotta just be here while you're out of town, just to kind of make a human
protect everyone.
Human shield around the reflecting pool as soon as I'm done here. And I want to ask you about this video that we just played.
Yeah.
President Trump's got a Crime Stoppers tip for you. He says lightweight ABC reporter Jonathan Karl was seen sticking his hand into the pool and trying to rip the rubber off the surface. Judge, is Jonathan Karl from ABC in trouble?
Well, it depends. Anyone who is in a position of vandalizing or attempting to vandalize the reflecting pool will face the criminal justice system in D.C. Look, the president has made it a priority to make D.C. not only safe but beautiful. And there are several citations that have been handed out to individuals, and these are cases that will be prosecuted to the full extent. If there are more serious products that are put into the reflecting pool to create more algae or a bigger problem, then we'll consider more serious charges. But make no mistake, making D.C. beautiful is a priority. And if you damage, vandalize, or do anything to impact something like the reflective pool, you can be prosecuted.
And how big a problem is vandalism on the National Mall? Because there's all these stories of the reflecting pool, of course, but then you got somebody spelling out 8647 on the grass. Where does this rank in the list of big problems for you this summer?
Well, look, there's a lot of big problems. And one thing, Peter, you can't say, this crime is so, it's such a low-level crime. It's a misdemeanor. We can't be worried about it. Every crime, and it's been proven with the broken windows theory, you've got to go after every crime.
Gotta go after
it, man. In the identification
You
of
gotta go
even
after it.
minor crimes, you create an atmosphere or a climate where people become more respectful. So we have the ability, and we will prosecute every violation of law. And that's why D.C. is now safer than it's ever been. I mean, crime is down because of President Trump's making D.C. safe and beautiful, because of the federal enhancement, because of the coordinated efforts of law enforcement. We've got the lowest homicide rate in decades. Crime is down to levels that they haven't seen. And that is because...
Oh, Tim Smith just emailed us a video. Hell yeah. But yeah, the crime in D.C. is incredibly down. And the thing is, now there's a bunch of vandals trying to make things worse in D.C. It sucks, man. I'm tired of all these stupid teenagers trying to make things worse in D.C., dude. It's pissing me the F off, dude. Free video uncensored. Gavin tells you how to drink at a bar. Okay, well, let's see. Hold on. So censored.tv. So this is a free one. Okay. Wait, is there any nudity in this? Okay, it's only like 3 minutes. We'll take a listen. This is pretty good so far. I like it.
And here's your water. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, I've actually watched this before, and it's pretty freaking funny. This is actually one of my favorite McInnes. I love everything Gavin does, but this is amazing.
hell no! Hey! What were you having, a smoothie?
Well, it was a blackberry margarita. What are you doing?
You know how long those take to make, you asshole? How long do those take to make?
I don't know, like 5 minutes?
You know how much time you waste with that bullshit?
This is bullshit.
Hey, tip 1, know your drink, keep it simple. Tip 2, don't order a water. Drinks are water. That's why they're called drinks. Oh, no. Tip 3, use cash at a bar, okay? All you're doing is delaying the tips for this guy by about a week. And tip 4, men don't order wine, all right?
This is so amazing, dude. God, I love Gavin. I've actually watched this before. It's one of my favorite Gavin McInnes skits.
Got a fine Italian dinner?
Okay, can I see your beer list, please?
Beer list? What are you gonna do, get a pumpkin ale or a chocolate stout? It's rotten barley and oats, okay? We're here to drink rotten fruits and vegetables.
I mean, Gavin's got a point. You could drink about any beer, and it's really, at the end of the day, all the same damn thing.
Not some fancy...
Like, I can have an IPA, and I love IPAs. I do admit they are a little stronger. That's the only reason I like them. But yeah, I mean, the difference between an IPA and a Coors Light, to me, pretty much negligible.
Fruity snack, okay? Order a normal beer like everybody else, you fuckwad!
This is amazing, dude. I love this.
The dog's choking, and I don't know CPR, so I'm like, I take my 2 fingers and I press it down, going like really tight, like, ah.
Guys, this does not work. 3 people in a row does not work. Look, you're going, oh, and then we went over there and it was super awesome. And this poor bastard is craning his neck. What happened? Then you switch over to him. You go, oh, I was talking about this awesome story. Now you're going, what happened? Here's tip 6, okay? When there's 3 guys, 2 guys sit, 1 guy stands. Now we create a triangle here. This works for a conversation. And don't give me your eye-rolling shit, okay? You checked your email all day, you can stand for a second.
Dude, this is amazing. This is honestly amazing, dude. I love this shit, dude. This is what I forgot about this skit. It's been a while since I watched it too.
Whoa. Tip number 7, if the game isn't on, there's no TV. Whoa, what are you doing? Are you showing the bartender pictures of your kids? Jesus Christ, no one cares about your fucking kids, okay? Tip number 8, no kid pics.
No, I was just seeing if you could charge my phone.
That's tip number 9. If you don't come to the bar with a charged phone, okay, then you don't get to use your phone. It's not...
This is so fucking amazing. This is so good, dude. I love this.
Fucking internet cafe! Are we clear? Shut up! Tip number 10, no more women laughing! My God, you sound like fucking hyenas! No one's saying women shouldn't be allowed in bars.
I mean, this is pretty funny, though. I mean, I'm not going to lie. This is great. Holy shit, man. Oh, dude, Gavin's killing it, man. Gavin's killing it.
For fuck's sakes, we're here to relax! There. Now that's a bar.
Gavin fucked everything up, dude. The Pug Plug just sent a happy poop yum yum for 10 jewels. Thank you, the Pug Plug. I love you. I need you and I want you crawling underneath my skin like the hunger, like the burning to find the place I've never been. Now broke it. Dude, Gavin McInnes makes me laugh so much, dude. That was amazing, dude. That's honestly one of the best Gavin McInnes skits of all time. I think he's back on YouTube, if I remember right. I think Gavin McInnes' channel is actually back on YouTube. Let me make sure of that. Oh yeah, that's right. This is the real Gavin McInnes, by the way. He's back on the tubes, man. And it's nice to see Gavin actually back on YouTube. It's nice to see that they're allowing free speech again on YouTube, where people can actually have their own like rightful opinions. Their opinions, no matter what the opinions may be. And it's just amazing, man. It's nice to see YouTube on the right path again. Hey, but thank you, Pug Plug. I really appreciate the happy poop yum yum for 10 jewels. Thank you. Futa. I'm the Futa king. Do you know?
Because we put our energy and our determination into making sure that cases are being
Christopher Blake Bucknor says, Gaza, what's up? Christopher Blake, what up, my brony bro?
prosecuted, whereas years ago they didn't even prosecute 67% of the arrests. We're changing all that and making sure that DC is safe, especially as we come up to the 4th of July holiday.
And Judge, we've got all these America 250 events coming up in DC, but elsewhere. After the details of the UFC terror plot came out, how worried are you about drones specifically disrupting events in your jurisdiction here in DC?
And that's a scary thought, is drones.
Peter, people come to DC to create crimes.
Drones interrupting events, that is kind of a freaky thought, dude.
To get attention and commit crimes and get attention. The 4th of July and the 200...
Tim Smith says the new PPC Ian video from yesterday was good. Let me put that in the queue real quick. So I'm going to put a PPC Ian video in the queue. We're going to do a little bit of Pride Month with PPC Ian. PPC Ian.
Hey friends, I'm so excited to be here today with another video about...
Hold on. Dividend success habits. I like it.
Hey friends, I'm so excited.
So we're not going to watch all of the PPC Ian video, but we'll watch maybe 5 or 10 minutes of it. But we're going to watch the rest of Judge Janine, and then we'll flip on over to our boy PPC Ian.
Anniversary is something that the president and federal law enforcement have been planning for months. It is something that's on the radar, and the fact that it was prevented at the UFC event, as horrific as that event might have been, where they were bringing in explosive devices on drones, and then they wanted to pick off people with AR-15s as they exited the stadium. I mean, this is the kind of thing where law enforcement is energized and is coordinated and working to make sure that the citizens are safe in D.C. And the president has done it. He'll continue to do it.
And kind of on the same track as that, we heard at the start of Epic Fury that big cities like Washington with a lot of soft...
Epic furries. Epic furry.
Targets and hard targets needed to be worried about potential Iranian sleeper cells or guys sympathizing with Iran attacking in the homeland, and Washington, D.C. is the place that gets talked about as much as anywhere. How worried are we at this point in the conflict about, or how worried should people be about being in a big crowd on the 4th of July holiday or around the 250 stuff?
Look, we have been working on this for over a year. We knew that this time and this holiday was coming, and make no mistake, federal law enforcement, along with the White House, all of the agencies, FBI, the U.S. Marshals, Park Police, Secret Service, we're on top of this, and we have been for a long time. My role is to prosecute. My role is to make sure that the violent criminals don't make it out of jail. My role is to make sure the criminals understand you come to D.C. to commit violence, you're going to end up in jail for a very long time. Things are different now in D.C. But we also have the ability to protect the citizens, and that is the first obligation of government. President Trump knows it. He has brought in enforcements and reinforcements. 500 more National Guard will be coming in to make sure that the citizens are safe. I think people can feel very confident that the president and the team, the law enforcement effort, is there to make sure that the American people are safe in Washington.
And last thing before we let you go, there is a Democratic socialist who has the inside track for mayor of D.C., and she's talking about working with the Trump administration, except when she doesn't want to. Listen to this.
As mayor, I will work with anyone who makes D.C. safer, but I will also stand up to Trump and anyone who targets our neighbors. D.C. is a place where we look out for each other.
So, what do you...
Another Democratic socialist to save the day. These Democratic socialists are so freaking low IQ. It's unbelievable, dude. It's unbelievable, man. Like, I am so sick of hearing people who think that democratic socialism is a good idea are fools. You're a fool. You're just a fool, and that's okay. I accept you anyway. BRB, I'm going to grab a snack. Yeah, dude. Gaza.
What do you think, Judge? Does that sound like a good partner?
Well, you know, time will tell, Peter, but I'll tell you this. The number one obligation of every mayor in this country, whether it's this woman or anyone else, is public safety. I side with the victims. I don't side with the criminals. And the idea that someone can decide that, you know, you have to be against Trump is absurd, because Trump is the only person, and Mayor Bowser in Washington has recognized this, that has brought...
Trump has reduced crime in DC tenfold. If you allow a Democratic socialist who is soft on crime to be the mayor of DC, Washington, D.C. is totally cooked at that point if you have a Democratic socialist mayor. I think it's screwed. That's my opinion. Democratic socialism doesn't work. Sorry, guys. Sorry to break it to you.
Brought safety to the citizens of Washington, D.C. 3 years ago, Washington...
Hey, thank you, Pug Plug. I appreciate you, bro.
Had the fourth highest homicide rate in the nation. And it wasn't until President Trump came in and we brought in all of our forces and all the federal enhancement to work with the MPD that we changed the scenario here. And we're not going to go backwards on our hard-fought ones. You know, if she needs to understand more what's going on, what it's like to deal with families of lost victims to homicide, deal with rape victims, deal with the victims who were traumatized by a carjacking, well, then she can come and sit down and talk to me. But we're not going backwards.
Everybody give a shout out to the Pug Plug for sending a happy poop gift. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate all the gifts.
There's nothing that's going to change this. And the only place for violent criminals in this country is in jail and behind bars. And until we recognize that, there will be chaos. But right now in Washington, there is not chaos, and we're not going back.
U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., Judge Janine Pirro, we've wanted to have you on the show for a long time. Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you, Peter.
Happy
Father's Day.
Thank you very much.
Be sure to like.
Judge Janine's kicking butt, dude. Kicking butt. Okay.
With another video about dividend stock investing. This video today, I'm going to surface 9 themes that I personally discovered while reading a book called Motivated Money by Peter Thornhill. You can see it right here. Check it out. This is a great book, all the way from Australia. Peter Thornhill is an investing legend in Australia and also throughout the world. Based on my research of Peter Thornhill.
Yeah, I've never heard of Peter Thornhill before. But I am curious to see what PPT Ian's doing, man. PPC.
His dividend or income producing portfolio is worth in excess of 10 million Australian dollars.
Damn.
And he drives over 400,000 Australian dollars per year from his income portfolio. Again, Peter Thornhill, Motivated Money, 9 lessons that I learned from reading this amazing book while I was on vacation in Kauai. It was so much fun. I actually read this book in parallel to the one I reviewed in my last video, which was Onward by Howard Schultz. Check out the pinned comment.
Oh, give me one moment, you guys. I gotta I need to buy some Bitty, the B-I-T-I. The B-I-T-I. The Pug Plug, thank you for the happy poop yum yum for 10 joules. Appreciate it. E.T. is asking, can you queef for us, Garza? I don't know. I don't think I can. Not live on air. I don't have the ability, bro. I bought some Bitty. The Bitty. I will always buy the Bitty. I will always buy the Bitty, yo. I will always buy the Bitty, ho. Cause I'm the comeback king. Do you know what I mean?
Below, I will link to my last video so you can check out that book review as well. But my vacation in Kauai, it was productive. I finished this book as well. Before we get going today, in terms of a friendly disclaimer, today's video is not investment advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm just sharing my journey here.
Neither am I. Neither am I. But PPC Ian, I feel like you might be.
On YouTube for fun and entertainment. Please consult your licensed financial advisor.
Yes, please talk to a licensed financial advisor. OMG.
Before making any financial decisions. Now, OMG. I want to get started. So I'm going to go through theme number 1. Check it out on the screen in front of you right now. This one kind of hits close to home because I work as a professional in the real estate profession. I'm a real estate developer, investor, a real estate professional in the commercial real estate space. Now, what Peter Thornhill says in his book is that basically shares or stocks, in his opinion, are superior to property. And this is really important, I think, in the context.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that, because when you're owning a company, when you're owning shares of a company, whether it's a real estate investment trust, whether it's a consumer staples, any sort of stock at all, you are basically owning productive assets. Pug plug, I am not a financial advisor. I repeat, I am not. And I repeat, I am not a financial advisor. I want that to be very, very clear, Pug Plug. My brony bro. I am not. Give me a moment, though. Thank you, Pug Plug. I appreciate the happy poop. But remember, Pug Plug, I am not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Never financial advice. Cause I'm the comeback king. Do you know what I mean? When I'm gone, it's end of scene, like a blank screen. You can never count me out. I'm the comeback king. Man, but I love you, Pug Plug. You're my boy.
Of Australia, because it seems, based on the book, that a lot of Australians are really caught up in property, and they are brought up or raised in a way to think that property is the best possible investment. And
well, because much as I love real estate, and I think real estate is a great investment, I would rather see people in real estate than nothing at all. But I will say this. If you want diversification, and this is my belief, not financial advice, but I do believe that having a multitude of real estate investment trusts, having like a ton of different real estate investment trusts in your portfolio, adds a huge level of diversification considering what each real estate investment trust has in their real estate portfolio. It's a big deal. The way I look at it is this: the more REITs that you have in your portfolio, the more reach. The more REITs you have in your portfolio, the more reach you have in your portfolio, meaning that your eggs are in multiple baskets. That your eggs are in so many different baskets that it's hard to calculate. So I love real estate investment trusts mainly because that they're using their real estate and they're leasing it out. They're leasing it out to other people or companies, or they're leasing it out for storage, you name it. I love storage REITs, by the way. Those are my favorite when it comes to a cash flow vessel. Storage REITs are amazing. Storage REITs are the tits. Those are my faves.
And Peter Thornhill is arguing that, hey, property is probably okay, but shares are better. And I would actually say the same here in the US. Look, I work in commercial real estate, and I have seen instances, especially in a cycle where interest rates kept going down, that commercial real estate was and continues to be a great place to be. That being said, it isn't as easy as everyone makes it seem. You would think that everyone who owns commercial real estate, or residential real estate for that matter, the way they talk about their investment properties, that they're bringing home all this money and they're profiting so much. Now, I think a lot of people are, but also so many people are just selling courses or propaganda on real estate. And I think that it's important to take a step back and realize that, hey, when given a chance between property and shares, it's a really good time to think.
Get into shares. That's the way I see it, at least. Like I said, not financial advice, but it's just, that's the way I see it, man. I think it's the smartest way to do it, dude. I think it's more intelligent to have stocks than real estate. And if you want real estate exposure without buying, if you want real estate exposure, buy the REITs, in my opinion, not financial advice. But the reason I think it's good to buy REITs is simply because of the diversification factor. It gives you so many more opportunities to be highly diversified. It's a big deal. So diversification matters in so many ways. You have no idea. Look, I'm a huge proponent of diversification. I believe in it wholeheartedly. If my portfolio wasn't diversified, man, I don't know what I would do. I sleep soundly at night knowing that I have one of the most spread out, diversified portfolios of all time. Like, seriously, I sleep soundly at night knowing that my portfolio is completely 100% diversified. That's a big deal to me, man. That is a huge deal to me. Cause I'm the comeback king. I'm going to look at my REIT portfolio real quick. Hold on, you guys. You can never count me out. 'Cause I'm the comeback king. Do you know what I mean? Give me a moment, you guys. Oh, NNN. That's another REIT. Do you know what I mean? When I'm gone, it's end of scene. I'm actually doing something real quick. Sorry, you guys. Hey, thank you, Bug Plug. I appreciate the happy poop yum yums, man. Mucho appreciado, my brony bro. Thank you so much. Hold on. Doing something real quick. Like a blank screen, you can never count me out. I'm the comeback king. Do you know what I mean? When I'm gone, it's end of scene. Like a blank screen, you can never count me out. I'm the comeback king. Do you know what I mean? When I'm gone, it's end of scene. Like a blank screen, you can never count me out. All right, there we go. So I'm trying to adjust my monitor in a different way. Hold on. I think that's good. There we go. Perfecto. That looks great. I got to get rid of the filter real quick. Hold on, you guys. Don't worry, we're putting the filter back on. Give me 1 second. Cool. Thank you, Pug Plug, for the jewels. I thank you for the happy poop yum yum for the jewels. I appreciate it, brother. There we go. Perfect. I think we're on the right path. Hold on. All right. There we go. Hold on. Okay, that's perfect. That's great. There we go. I think we got it now. That's perfect. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to square away something real quick during the live stream. Trying, at least, to the best of my ability. All right, I'm feeling good. Feeling ready. Because I'm the comeback king. All right, you guys, I'm making a few REIT reports. It's taking a bit of time. Sorry about that. Like a blank screen, you can never count me out. I'm the comeback king. Do you know what I mean?
Critically. And again, I own real estate. I invest in real estate, both through a REIT that I own, Realty Income, and through the business world, through my life as a commercial real estate developer. And I have a lot of respect for real estate. But again, it's not so simple as everyone would make it seem. Anyway, check it out on the screen in front of you right now. What I want to share with all of you are just some examples from Peter Thornhill. So he looks at an Australian company called Westfield. And Westfield, back in the day, split into two divisions, two separate companies, the holdings company, which manages the real estate, and the trusts company, which owns the real estate. He basically shares a case example of $1,000 invested in 1984. And
so basically, this was like almost like a REIT, it feels like. I mean, I could be analyzing this wrong, but yeah. If you own shares in the real estate investment trusts, I argue that it's better that way because you don't have to waste as much time dealing with the real estate yourself. You, as the owner of the REIT itself, don't have to deal with any of the inner workings of the REIT. You have management and other people that do that shit for you. So you, as the owner, yes, you have to pay these people to manage the properties. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're getting the good shit. You're still getting the sundae, you're just not getting the cherry on top, in my opinion. That's the analogy I'd like to use.
And the holdings company, which doesn't even own the real estate,
and by the way, I love REITs. The one thing I love about REITs is I get a lot of cash flow from these investment vessels, so I'm a huge fan of them, man. I'm a huge fan, man. I don't know how anybody couldn't.
It's so much better from a income perspective and a total returns perspective. You can see the numbers on the screen in front of you right there. It's a staggering difference. The holdings company, which does not own the real estate, turned 1,000 into 131,000. The trust, which owns the real estate, turned 1,000 into 2,500. And you can see the income has such a staggering difference as well. $2,000 plus from the holdings, only $168 from the trusts. Now, what's a related lesson here is that don't get caught up in current high yield. I think back in the day in 1984, it may be that the trusts, the real estate holding company, had a higher starting yield, but the holdings company, the management company, was able to grow the dividend over time. So Peter drives home this point in his book, which is something that is so core to my own philosophy, that it's all about long-term yield on cost. The starting yield doesn't matter so much as the growth of income over time. We're going to get more to this concept.
I mean, that matters quite a bit. Growth of income over time. Absolutely. 100%. And that's the thing. I get into a lot of dividend growth companies, even though I get into a lot of higher yielding dividend companies like BDCs and REITs and stuff. You know, I still like my growth companies. I still like my Altria groups. I still like my Coca-Colas, Pepsi-Cola, you know, those sorts of companies that grow their dividends over time. I also love energy companies. I think it's great to get into energy companies. Energy companies are fabulous, man. I'm a huge proponent of owning energy companies. In fact, you could argue that my investment portfolio is very similar to a monopoly board. I own a bunch of real estate through real estate investment trusts. I own a lot of electrical companies, basic power companies and stuff like that from obviously their shares that they have available that are publicly traded. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of investing that way. That's just the way I invest. And I think it's a beautiful way to invest.
In a minute, but it surfaced in this case example in the real estate category. But let's keep going. As you can see on the screen in front of you right now, what Peter goes on to say is, don't just assume that property is better than shares. They call them shares in Australia, or stocks here in the US. Same thing, same concept.
Yeah.
Don't make that assumption, even though
that is a good assumption, because you should never assume that owning a piece of property is better than owning stocks. I think it's great to own stocks, in my opinion. I think overall, that's the best thing to own. I don't understand how anybody could, I don't understand why anybody would want to go through the hassle of owning a property, maintaining a property, even having to hire a management company just seems like such a chore to manage the property. You know what I mean? Like, are the rewards pretty high for owning a property? Sure. The rewards are very high for owning a property. But at the same time, is the reward worth the time? And I answer that with an astounding no. This is one of the reasons why I prefer to own a real estate investment trust over owning actual real estate, because one, if I own 3 duplexes or 3 apartment complexes or even just 3 individual homes, whatever they may be, I'm still not diversified enough. There is a lack of diversification with owning limited amounts of properties. The liability is also insane. The liability of being a landlord, in my opinion, is not worth it. It's not worth it unless you got a good legal team. It just isn't, man, in my opinion. And this is one of the reasons why I consistently invest into real estate investment trusts all the time. Like, I love REITs. They're really my favorite investment vessel because it gives me the ability to get into real estate, get the cash flows from the real estate through a dividend. And it's amazing. BDCs and REITs, those are my 2 favorite dividend vessels just because they tend to pay higher yields. And I love it. So I will always be a BDC fanboy. I will always be a big fan of real estate investment trusts because really at the end of the day, I am a dividend investor through and through. I love being diversified. Don't get me wrong. I love diversification. I love dividends. Yes, I'm aware I get taxed on dividends. I am more than aware. But yes, I love dividends. I think they're amazing. And yeah, I'm happy to be a dividend investor through and through.
All the pundits, all the people around you are telling you that real estate is the greatest thing around. Hey, I love real estate. It is something that I really respect and that I value. But again,
yeah, real estate's amazing, man.
Don't make any assumptions. And so Peter goes on to say on the topic of volatility that so many people say, hey, but house prices or real estate prices, they're not so volatile. The only reason they're not volatile is we don't quote them day by day on the television. There's not a ticker going across the screen with your house's value.
Yeah, and here's the thing, you know, with great volatility comes great opportunity. This is one of the reasons why I love the stock market so much, especially when I'm swing trading specific positions. So when I'm swing trading the SLV ETF, I love the fact that silver is constantly going up and down in price, and that the price of silver is constantly negotiated and trying to be figured out. Yeah, I love the fact that silver is always super bipolar when it comes to its price. It makes me happy, man. It makes me super happy. I'm going to try to lower down the filter a little bit. Sorry about that, you guys. There we go. I lowered down the filter a little bit so it's a little more tolerable.
Value on a daily or even minute by minute basis. If there were, maybe we would feel differently about volatility in property. He goes on to say on page 105, more money is made from running businesses than from owning physical property. He also says on page 102, property is not the lucrative and safe investment we have always assumed it to be. The potential for...
I think that's the biggest lie. You know, and I will say this. I believe the biggest lie that's ever been told by a bank is that a house is a good investment. I really think that's probably one of the biggest lies told to our society, that a home is a good investment. I think it's a lie. I think it's a fucking lie. And I'll tell you why. The reason I think that a home is not a real investment, at least not a good one, is unless you're leasing out that real estate, it's really, if you have to live in your asset, it's not an asset. It's just a home. It's a place to live. And do you expect to resell it later? Sure, probably. But honestly, I say the best investments are productive assets like stocks. Stocks will always be productive because they're companies that are doing something. And if it's a company that's doing something, man, that matters. It matters a lot.
Real wealth creation lies elsewhere. And so what's interesting about Peter Thornhill is this is not a new book. This is a book where he was writing this back in the day, probably during the last interest rate cycle. So Peter's words surfaced to all of us about, hey, really look at shares as an alternative to physical real estate, even in a cycle where rates were going down towards record lows. Now we're in a cycle where rates are going up. I wonder if Peter's thoughts would be almost even more amplified in our current world, because in the cycle we're in now, real estate is not the same as it had been in the prior few decades of rates just going down, 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 down. And so that's something to keep in mind as well. But again, I own a REIT, Realty Income. I value it. It's done very well for my personal situation, but I'm not buying more units of that REIT right now. And outside of the dividend
That's one of my favorite REITs, though, is Realty
in my
Income.
business world, I do have investments in physical real estate, and I value those. But I must say, to develop real estate right now in 2026, the investor has to be very discerning, very careful, very experienced, and have a very long time horizon. And is the investment at the end of the day better than stocks? Well, the jury is out. That's what Peter is asking all of us to consider. That's only theme number 1 out of 9. So I want to keep going, everyone. I have...
Yeah, and by the way, Realty Income is a fine company. In fact, I argue that Realty Income might be one of the finest companies that you can own. If you're going to own a real estate investment trust, I think that Realty Income is probably the top tier out of all of them. I am a huge fan of Realty Income through and through. I just think it's one of the best. And yeah, no, through and through, I'm a huge Realty Income fanboy. I can't help it, man.
Have a lot of ground to cover today. This was a really good book. By the way, shout out to all my Australian subscribers. Please put in the comments below if you've heard of Peter Thornhill, if you're from Australia. Even if you're not, if you've heard of him before, let me know. And also,
actually, I've never heard of Peter Thornhill. So this is the first time I've heard of this dude. So it's pretty incredible to hear his philosophies on investing. And it's nice to hear that somebody has the same philosophy that I do on real estate, that real estate is really not the investment that it's cracked up to be. Sure, look, I would rather you own a home than nothing at all. Like if you're not going to get into the stock market, which I think is a huge mistake to not, if you're not getting into the stock market, I really do think you're making a mistake. But whatever, do your thing. But I would rather you at least get into real estate than nothing at all. You know what I mean? I think that's a smart thing. At least in my opinion.
So shout out to Canna Campbell, Sugar Mama TV. She has a podcast that I listen to all the time. I'll link to it in the pinned comment below about investing, and it's really focused more towards Australians, but the knowledge is timeless and universal, and that's how I learned originally about Peter Thornhill, who happens to be Canna Campbell's mentor. And so shout out.
Oh, yeah.
Let's keep going. Check it out on the screen in front of you right now. Theme number
great,
2.
Man.
So what I want to share here is the concept of the yield trap. And Peter Thornhill,
dividend yield
he
trap.
looks
Yep,
at yield traps differently than I do a little bit. So he uses the same term, but for me, a yield trap is a dividend stock that's paying a really high dividend that's just going to cut or eliminate it because the business cannot sustain the yield.
Yes. I actually prefer PPC Ian's definition, but I am curious to see what Peter Thornhill says.
And that's one type of yield trap. But Peter Thornhill, he's talking about another type of yield trap. Let's talk about that. The lower yielding industrial shares pay magnificent long-term income. High yielding term deposits pay lousy long-term income. That's really the quote there. What Peter's trying to say is avoid this trap that the high starting yield is going to give more income over the long term. Over the long term, Peter found that the smaller yields, the lower starting yields that grow over time can maximize and provide more income. Check it out on the screen. Let's keep going. So after that quote, he has another one. Yield and income are two different things. One is a dollar value you can spend. That's the income. The other is an abstract number or ratio that has no clear dollar value. That's yield. And so what I highlight here are some key takeaways that Peter talks about. Yield, it can really stay constant, but income grows. And so why would this happen in a really high quality asset? Well, it's because yield is a relationship between two numbers. It's the relationship between the amount of income that's being paid per share and the share value. And because share value goes up just in parallel to the income that share produces, the yield can be kind of flat. But who cares if the yield is flat as long as income is growing? And another way to think about this is yield on cost. That's a concept that I've talked about so many times since the beginning of my channel. But again, I thought this was really helpful, that it doesn't matter what the current yield is. Yield is just a ratio. What matters is that the income is going up over time. And we all know as the dividend per share grows.
Well, here's the thing. Look, if the dividend is increasing over time, that's great. But I want to make sure that if the dividend is growing, is it growing naturally? And what do I mean by that? When I say natural growing dividend, I mean, does the company itself have the earnings to support the dividend growth over time? And if it doesn't, that is a problem, man. That's a problem.
There's going to be more income, and the share price will go up as well. Yield will stay the same on a percentage term, but income will go up. But let's keep going. As you can see on the screen in front of you right now, what I want to do is just share a personal example. This is one of the best performing investments I've ever made, and I'm always excited to highlight it because it just is a great example. I bought Caterpillar in 2013 at 86.17. Actually, most of my investment was made around that time. My first tranche was a big tranche. It's now at $985.82.
That's crazy, dude. Caterpillar stock has grown so much over time.
And so my unrealized capital appreciation is now over 1,000%. Now, my current dividend yield on this thing, it's really low. It's only 0.66%. Why is that? Because the share price has gone up a lot. But my first tranche, simple yield on cost, is basically $1.63 times 4, which is the dividend per quarter, which they just increased by about 8%. I divide by my initial purchase price, and I'm yielding 7.57%.
Oh, yeah.
I look at yield on cost because it shows me the progress I've made on my income. Peter Thornhill doesn't use the term in his book yield on cost, but really the way he talks about this...
I mean, I don't really use yield on cost either, but it's I never really looked into the term. But that's kind of a cool calculation. I may have to implement that. So it kind of makes it to where you can figure out like what your yield is currently based on what you purchased the shares for initially. So it seems like his yield on the cost basis in which he got it is 7.57% annually, which honestly isn't a bad yield. That's actually a really impressive yield. I like that. That's very hot. ET says, Garza, this is Guy. Let's watch tomorrow's teachings to dull our senses. Well, hold on. Let's watch a little more of what PPC Ian is saying. Let's go.
Concept of the yield trap reminds me of my own concept of yield on cost. The reason, again, I look at yield on cost as compared to current yield is yield on cost shows me how my income that I can use for my portfolio is progressing. And at the end of the day, I invest for income that I can use to...
I agree. I invest for income myself, and that's why PPC Ian and I are like... That's why PPC Ian and I love each other. No, I love PPC Ian, though. He's right on that one.
Pay my bills. So thank you, Caterpillar, for the recent 8% dividend increase. Put in the comments below if you own this one. It just has surprised me so much. It has done so...
I love cash flow, though. Like, that's the one thing I love about owning great companies is the cash flow. If those companies have great cash flow, man, I'm all on board. Especially when they could pay a great dividend. Like, real estate investment trusts have great cash flow. They pay a great dividend. A lot of BDCs have pretty good cash flow. They pay a pretty good dividend. It's a little riskier, but that's okay.
So well on a total returns basis, on a dividend basis, and I think there's a lot of room for them to continue to grow the dividend, which will increase my income over time. That was theme number 2. Let's go into theme number 3, everyone. So as you can see on the screen in front of you right now, the next one is a cash buffer for allocated pensions. Okay, so there's this concept in Australia of the superannuation. This is basically a vehicle that is somewhat equivalent to what we would call, say, a 401k in the United States. There's going to be many differences between the two, but ultimately it's a retirement plan that Australians can invest in, where you can invest in shares and it allows you to plan for your retirement. And basically what Peter Thornhill was talking about was this concept of an allocated pension where you can take a superannuation, you can take a pension from it and get paid in increments over time, which I would say, again, has parallels to the United States because at a certain point with a 401k, you need to take your required minimum distributions. The point of what I'm sharing here is that Peter Thornhill...
Oh, Tim Smith says a new Tomorrow's Teachings dropped 2 days ago. Shit, so did my nuts, dude. My nuts dropped about a couple days ago too. We'll have to watch the latest Tomorrow's Teachings. So let's just hear PPC Ian out for just like one more minute.
suggests a cash buffer. Share markets go up and down. We all know this. The stock market is volatile. And so once you're required, either by choice or by just tax code, to start taking distributions from a superannuation via allocated pension, or here in the United States, a 401k, Peter suggests to have about 2 years of a cash buffer balance within that retirement plan. And the reason for that is he suggests you don't want to have to sell when times are really bad. You want to have a buffer there so you can keep getting your income even if the share market drops, because the 2-year buffer would allow enough time to wait for the share market to rebound, to sell more that would then be distributed. And I thought this was a helpful reminder because I don't talk about it here really ever, because I'm really focused on my individual stock portfolio. But yes, I do have retirement accounts. And eventually, when I retire, and hopefully I retire well earlier than the traditional retirement age, but once I hit that traditional retirement age,
I think PPC Ian's going to retire early, man. In fact, I think he actually has retired early. I think he's just telling everybody that he hasn't. I think he just basically does YouTube videos for fun, which is really smart of him to do, by the way. And I think because he does these videos for fun, he's able to make a good amount of money on the side. It's really smart, man. I love the PPC Ian way. PPC Ian, dude. Smart man, dude. Smart dude. Okay. So we'll be done with PPC Ian for now. We're going to look up tomorrow's teachings. Uh-oh. We're going to look up their latest episode. When your girlfriend won't let you check her phone. Oh my goodness.
What's so funny?
Nothing. It's just a meme.
A meme? Let me see.
No.
What? Why not?
Because it's private.
She's texting other dudes, it looks like. Uh-oh, fuck.
A meme is private? What are you hiding, Lucy?
I'm not hiding anything. It's just my phone, my rules.
So, you wouldn't let me borrow your phone for like 2 seconds?
Nope.
Not even if I was dying and call 911?
I would call them for you.
You wouldn't even let me press the buttons?
Nope.
All right. Now I gotta see what's on that phone.
National secrets, classified information, stuff you wouldn't understand.
Oh, I understand. Now let me see your phone.
No way.
What? Why not? Is it another guy?
Oh my God, you're being toxic now, so.
I mean, the way she was laughing, I don't know. I don't know who's in the right or the wrong in this situation, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure. So, I don't know. I'm too tired to know.
Why won't you let me see your phone?
I'm not hiding anything, okay? It's just...
I think she is, dude. I think she is, bro. I think she is.
It's personal. It's like a journal to me.
I get it. But you trust me, right? We've been dating for over a year.
Of course I trust you.
Then let me see it.
No. Nice try.
Whatever, you win.
Fine. You can see the meme.
Really?
Just the meme.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, wow. That is a lot of apps. Wait. Is that a text?
Okay, that's enough.
No, we're done when I am done looking.
Oh, shit, dude. She's being sketchy, dude. I think because the way she's acting, I mean, look, I don't know. I think she's sketchy. I think she's cheating, dude.
What? Lucy, are you okay? What should I do? Come on.
Okay, it's fine.
What is wrong with you? You scared me half to death.
You're stressing me out.
I swear, you almost gave me a heart attack. Ridiculous.
We already know that she's clearly cheating on this guy, so can you just get on with it?
What? Why is Pizza Hut calling?
I am so confused. What the hell just happened? Dude, I don't even know. We're gonna be watching a breakdown of the U.S.-Iran MOU, dude. I am so mad right now at tomorrow's teachings, dude. That was so effing terrible. Dude, I don't even know, dude. I don't even know what that was, dude. That was so bad. That was a level of tomorrow's teachings that made me sad, dude. That made me really sad. That made my pee-pee sad.
The JCPOA, the Obama nuclear catastrophe, which was so bad. When Obama left, he didn't hit their military. He didn't damage their Navy or destroy their Air Force. I destroyed the Air Force. They couldn't do a damn thing.
Yeah, Obama's deal was really crappy. Obama's deal gave Iran way too much power, in my opinion. It gave him way too much. That was a bad thing, dude. That was bad. Bad to the bone.
He didn't do any of that stuff. He didn't kill their leadership. I did twice, 2.5 times to be exact. He didn't do anything to Soleimani. I killed Soleimani.
President Trump is defending his Iran strategy while ripping Barack Obama's weak nuclear deal. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the
weak. I mean, Obama's deal was definitely weak, though. Like, no joke. Completely weak.
Final hour of the big weekend show. President Trump is blaming Obama for not going far enough to dismantle Iran's nuclear program, which set the stage for this current conflict.
Obama.
But Obama, as you can imagine, is pushing back.
We've now fought a war, spent billions and billions of dollars, put an enormous strain on our military. A lot of people have died, and it feels like we're back where we were before we started the war, except maybe a little bit worse, awfully.
So what did former President...
Dude, we're on the right track with this, man. We're on the right track. I don't care what Obama says. But Annie, I want to say, what the hell was that Tomorrow's Teachings? Dude, I have no idea. That was like one of the worst Tomorrow's Teachings episodes I've ever fucking watched. That was absolute garbage. Pure garbage.
And Obama's Iran deal actually do? Well, Joey Jones is at the big board to break it all down.
Joey Jones, dude, what's Joey talking about?
A bigger iPad this time, so we're going to try to get this done. So some of the things that kind of stand out, and when compared to what's happening now about this, is that every single limitation or every single restriction on Iran under the JCPOA timed out. Some of them as few as 5 to 7 years, some of them as long as 25 to 30 years.
He said
but every
long.
single stipulation timed out. I want to hit only the big points because you can't really juxtapose a finished negotiated deal that has fine details with a memorandum of understanding that doesn't. But I do want to give people an idea of how these are different and how they're similar. So it said, up to 300 kilograms of nuclear material. The level of enrichment was stipulated. And then how they were going to monitor it. It said the IAEA would watch over Iran's nuclear program, but even that was limited to, a certain amount of time. It was limited on years years as far as who was allowed in and when. Iran had a lot of say over that. That was one of the biggest complaints, was the way Iran was going to do it, you really wouldn't have a chance to overlook things. The deal itself expired in 10 to 15 years, so even if
Nate Dogg is asking, what's going on with my screen? So what you're seeing is I took over your phone. No, but so what you're seeing is the LGBTQ flag as a filter. You're seeing the LGBTQ flag as a filter for the show. And I put that, and there's me. You could see me in the center of the LGBTQ flag. We've gone woke, dude. It's happy Pride Month, Father's Day. Once again, happy Pride Month, Father's Day, everybody. The Michael Garza show has gone full woke. Nate Dogg says, this is what happens when you download Garza's app. Do you guys still want to be beta testers, by the way? Everybody wants to be a beta tester on my app.
if there were parts of it that lasted 25 years, after 10 to 15 years, would it matter? But some of the things, the enrichment limitations, only 10 to 15 years. They had, for 15 years, they could keep that stockpile of 3.67% enriched uranium, knowing that they had uranium enriched much more than that. And then also the sanctions, they ultimately were going to relieve the same sanctions that we're talking about doing now.
Yeah.
The difference is they had it stipulated line by line, and J.D. Vance has said things like, if they perform well, because we don't have an ironed out deal yet. But they were relieving sanctions on oil and gas, relieving sanctions on banking, and other stuff to include certain individuals that had sanctions against them. Most of those people are dead now, so that part doesn't really apply to this one. So that's what you're looking at. And then they were blocking, supposedly, routes to get plutonium, which is the enriched uranium, plutonium-239.
It doesn't shock me that they'd be doing that either. That they'd be blocking routes. Hell yeah. So let's see. Yeah, so this is going to be a good thing. I think the IAEA to watch over Iran's nuclear program is going to be a net benefit, because we want to prevent Iran from being able to build a nuke further. We got to prevent that in any way. We want to make it to where they have no uranium, basically. We want to make it to where they have no enrichment capabilities. And we want to prevent them from purchasing already enriched uranium. The Fordow nuclear facility to be closed for 15 years. That sounds good. The deal expires in 10 to 15 years. Hey, at least the deal. I will say the benefit of this deal is it's going to prevent Iran from doing anything. It's going to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon, which is a good thing. We do not want a nuclear Iran, period, end of story. First off, Iran was not paid $300 billion. We froze their first off, the assets were frozen, and now the assets are being unfrozen. Allegedly, as far as I've heard. I could be wrong. That could have changed at any point. Either way, Donald Trump has full control of the situation. Whether you guys want to admit it or not, Trump has full control. Maybe not full, but Trump has a stranglehold on this situation. T-Dog has a stranglehold, bro.
But basically, all of that is kind of taken care of in this deal, and we'll explain that too.
So Joey, what was Iran's uranium and nuclear stockpile before the Obama deal compared to now?
Yeah, so here's something that Democrats might use as their own talking point, but I want to explain how it isn't. So what we knew of in February of 2014 was 161 kilograms of uranium. We call it yellow cake. So what this is, that's a pile of the yellow cake on like a mirror, so it's making a...
Yellow cake. Oh, the yellow cake, yeah. Damn, 441 kilograms of uranium looks like that, dude. That's awesome.
Triangle, but it's really a little pyramid. And so that's what we knew about. And then you look, and from 2014 to 2026, 441 kilograms. So it pretty much tripled, almost quadrupled in that amount of time to a lot more. The reason why I'm pointing that out is they had no intention.
How did they get that much uranium to begin with? That's my question. ET says, wow, tomorrow's teachings was ass. Wasted your time. Sorry, Garza. It's okay, Brody. It's okay. Hey, not every tomorrow's teachings is going to be a gold one. Sometimes the best lesson you can learn in life is that sometimes things are not always going to be as hilarious. You know, they're not always going to be as hilarious. Trump is my zaddy. That is true. Trump is America's zaddy. All right.
Of stopping their enrichment program. And what's really important here is that if you'll remember, right before Epic Fury started,
Epic Furry,
Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff were over there, and the Iranians told us braggadociously, hey, we've got enough enriched uranium right now for 11 warheads. Back then it was 1 to 2. And the reason why I point that out is you don't do that in that amount of time because President Trump backed out of the JCPOA in 2020.
By the way, if you guys love Trump as much as I do, double tap your screen to like the stream. One more time. If you love Trump as much as I do, double tap your screen to like the stream. Shh. Don't tell anybody I like Trump. I know I got the rainbow flag, but shh. Don't tell the woke people I like Trump. Shh.
In, what was it, 24, 23, I can't remember the year. We'll get that. I'll post it online. But you don't do that in basically 10 years and say that you were abiding by it to begin with. In other words, the amount of growth is evidence that they weren't abiding by the JCPOA, which is why President Trump felt like this is something that needed to be dealt with Operation Midnight Hammer.
Oh, shit, dude. Oh, shit, dude. Oh, dude, the Coos Bay area page just said, for the record, attention Garza Medias. Dude. Hold on. That's crazy, dude. I can't believe he made a post about me. That's hilarious. Dude, this is crazy, man. Dude, this is hilarious, dude. What a fucking chud. This is funny, dude. Dude, Sal is such a chud, dude. I hate this guy. This is great, dude. Oh my god, I'm like fucking happy right now, dude. I'm happy right now, dude. Sal of all people called me out on his stupid page. Which, by the way, the call out's hilarious because I did nothing wrong except for call Corner Chair Cowboy a piece of garbage. This is hilarious, dude. Oh, hold on. I also got to do one thing real quick. Dude, this is so funny right now. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm like doing a couple things right now. I'm so distracted. Oh, one thing I got to add. This is so great, dude. I'm so happy right now. Oh my god, I'm so giddy. I am so giddy right now, dude. This is so freaking great. I got better things to focus on than Facebook drama, though. Facebook is lame. It's for lame people. Yeah. This shit's too funny, dude. Oh my god.
And we can talk about that in a second.
Wow, those are some really
Facebook,
alarming.
dude, Facebook drama makes me laugh so fucking hard, dude. That shit's hilarious, man. That shit's funny.
Stats that you've got there, Joey, and I want to find out.
Sorry, you guys. I am. I don't even know, dude. I'm on a Facebook. Oh, dude, I'm on a Facebook war right now, dude. This is crazy. Oh my god, I'm on a Facebook war, dude. Yeah, this Sal guy is such a piece of garbage, dude. But yeah, this Sal guy, dude, he's a real piece of work, man. This Sal guy is a real piece of work. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Dude, Facebook is so stupid. People on Facebook are dumb, dude. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, dude. So Annie, did you just check out you just checked out the page too, dude? Dude, Sal's just being a total he's such an a-hole, dude. I hate that guy so much. I mean, dude, Sal is a literal sociopath, dude. Sal is a legit sociopath. But like, yeah, Sal is terrible, dude. This guy, man. This guy, dude. So, red alert. Sal's being a douche. Oh my goodness, man. I am the man. I am the grift that keeps on grifting. There we go. There we go. I'm just saying whatever I want at this point. Yeah, dude, I'm calling him out, dude. Give me 1 second, you guys. Watch this. Oh, jeez. This guy, man, I swear, dude. Dude, it's crazy. This guy's a psychopath. This guy's trying to silence TJ through lawfare. What the hell? TJ has every right to go down there. You can't just bully him into silence. That's illegal. I mean, it literally, by the way, it is the definition of illegal to bully somebody into silence using the law. TJ has every right to go to those events. And Sal is not the arbiter of truth, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, Sal's a terrible dude. Sal sucks. Like the more I learn about Sal, the more I can't stand this guy. I mean, like Sal really is just like, this guy is the creme de la creme of just, he's a frustrating person just because he's not a nice guy. I mean, the guy is a sickening piece of shit. Give me 1 second here. I don't know if this is going to work. Hold on. Watch this. Give me 1 moment, everybody. There was a page that I was given. This guy is terrible, man. Yeah. Is this website still up? Hold on, maybe it is. There it is. This guy's gonna come in for a hell of a ride. He shouldn't have done this. He shouldn't have been a dickbag. But he was. I'll have to do it. Come on, Sal. Here we go. Of course he did. What a chud. There we go. Asshole. What a chud, dude. Annie, dude, I'm so mad at this Sal guy. He's such a jerk. Tries to bully TJ. It's fucking amazing. Oh, this is fantastic, dude. Oh my god, I'm so happy right now. This is great, dude. I did it, dude. I did it. Yeah, dude, he loves me, dude. Sal is in love with me, dude. This is great, dude. Dude, this is so funny. I am like so incredibly happy right now, man. Anyway, Sal's a dick, dude. Sal's a total a-hole. I mean, this is wild, dude. Ah, here we go. Hold on. I gotta do something real quick. Maybe this will work. Hold on. One moment, you guys. There we go. Okay, hold on. Sorry, you guys. I'm still trying to figure out a couple things. This is just taking a while. Lots of rando stuff real quick. Hold on. Sal is such a piece of garbage. What a douche, dude. I don't know what's up with him. He's got a problem, man. But anyway, I'm done with Facebook, dude. Facebook is so stupid. But yeah, dude, Sal has just been, first off, he's just been terrible to TJ. And I wish he was nicer to TJ. That's all I asked for. And then I just kind of got angry and I started telling them how I really felt. And yeah. Oh man, this shit's so funny. Well, what do you guys think? I think Facebook is such a waste of time, by the way. It's one of the dumbest. It is one of the legitimately dumb forms of social media out there. It's just insane, dude. But welcome to the pride, dude. Welcome to the pride. Yeah, dude. That Coos Bay Area page is so crazy, dude. I'm a celebrity on there. I am a celebrity on that retarded page. That page really is terrible, by the way. Uh-oh. I was trolling his page and he got pissed. Oh, dude, my boy TJ's taking a look real quick. My boy TJ's like, oh, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, those guys are terrible, dude. God, dude. I let TJ know what was going on, man. This is crazy. Sal's coming after Daddy? Well, fuck it. I don't care. Sal's an idiot, though. Like, Sal doesn't know anything. The guy's an asshole. And he's a PDF, so I don't care. I mean, I'm in shock, dude. I'm like, oh man, I was just trolling, dude. I was just trolling a little bit. Nothing too crazy. That's funny though, man. It's wild. Well, let's see here. I mean, dude, I'm laughing to the bank, dude, right now. I'm laughing to the bank. It is hella zoomed in right now, I got to admit. So I may have to back up. I'm going to back this up a little. Back a little. There we go. I think that's... yeah, because I don't want to get too zoomed in, but I also want to make sure that I'm able to... hold on. I'm trying to get the monitors at least close enough. Yeah, I think that's good enough, because I'm trying not to get too zoomed in with it. Obviously, I'm trying not to like go super zoomy, but we're trying to go like partial zoom. Yeah, I guess that's all right. Yeah, I guess it'll keep it sort of steady. Yeah, I like that actually. It's not too bad. But yeah, dude, this guy is so crazy. I mean, it's so obvious that I'm trolling. Like, oh man, this shit's great, dude. Ah, dude, I don't even know what to say, man. This is stunning. Well, I guess we'll end it on this note. Sal is being a piece of garbage, as he usually is. And of course he is. We all know he is. Yeah, so let him be. Let him be an a-hole. Let him do his thing. Yeah. I was trolling pretty flippin' hard, man. Annie says Sal will take anything that would fit his narrative and run with it. Absolutely. And that's the kind of guy Sal is, unfortunately. Sal is not a good dude. The guy is... I don't know what's mentally wrong with him, but he's not a good dude. And I don't like the way he is. I just don't like him as a person. He's just not a good dude. Well, I don't know what to say at the moment, you guys, except for I'm a little tired. I need to chill out for a bit. Oh, what is it? No, I was actually looking at what TJ was telling me because, like, I was trying to figure out who the corner chair cowboy is, and like I think I figured it out. But yeah, no, either way, like, dude, those people, like the corner chair cowboy has been such a piece of shit to TJ. It pisses me off to no end. And it makes me sad. Like, it really makes me sad, like what they do to TJ. Like the way he treats, he's like, it's beyond, he like basically intimidates him, which pisses me off. And so I gave Corner Chair Cowboy a piece of my mind. I did. I told him what I thought, and then he pretended. I'm pretty sure he pretended to, you know what, he basically pretended to be the victim, which was really annoying. I wasn't even threatening. I was basically telling him, giving him a piece of my mind, like, dude, you're such a piece of garbage, all that crap. So anyway, yeah. Sal sucks. Corner Chair Cowboy sucks. But TJ's the man, dude. TJ's my boy. Yeah. At the end of the day, I am just so freaking done with Sal. Like, I kind of just... a part of me wants to go down there during those events and just be a troll. But the other side of me is like, well, how much will these disturbing liberals make up about me in a false... Because they do false police reporting. That's the scary part. Oh, TJ's one of my buddies. He's a good dude. See, TJ's actually a good dude. Sal, on the other hand, is not. The dude is a registered you-know-what. So it's pretty messed up. I'm talking about Sal, by the way, just to let you know. Sal is a registered you-know-what. That's the thing. But, yeah, Sal is a terrible person. But anyway, though, I'm a little exhausted at the moment. I will catch you all later. Thank you guys for hanging out. And, but yeah, TJ's the man. Exactly, Annie. TJ's the man. And I really don't like the way they treat TJ down there. I really don't. It sickens me. It bugs me. It makes me, it pisses me off, dude. Pisses me off to no end. So maybe I will make a return down there. Maybe one day. Until then, I usually got better things to do with my time on a Saturday. I got shit to do.